crew, I see you. Die hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard. Homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves, and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team, and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name, and it is on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gonna murder that.
Bang, bang, bang. What's good, guys? It's your boy Eru, host of the Dynasty Podcast. Let's get busy. I got my man Ralph Diaz in the background. My man is completely nuts, the absent-minded professor. He's trying to get his microphone and stuff together on the sidelines and stuff. But while he's getting together, I'm gonna set up the stream here. I kind of want to talk about the Knicks and the Nets tonight. So I mean, both teams have went through a large winning streak. The Knicks won 8 straight. Then we lost 5 straight. And then they continue to win. So they're actually on the 12-game winning streak right now. They just come off of blowing out, I believe, San Antonio, and then we have blow out Phoenix. So we blow out a good team, they blow out a bad team. But this is what I want to say here. I want to know what's the difference between the two teams, why one team is still playing well, why one team went through the struggles and stuff like that. So that's basically where I'm going at with this here. So shout out to Mike Doc. If he pops in the chat today, he brought up something on Twitter here that I probably should get up. But he brought up something on Twitter where he was just talking about Tom Thibodeau versus Vaughn here. So we're gonna start the podcast with that. So like I said, Ralph is on the sideline. He's listening and stuff. So we're gonna get something up here that I have here from him. So let me make sure I get it up here. All right. So this is it here. Let me share the screen. So he's basically comparing Tom Thibodeau to Vaughn. So one thing, backstory with Vaughn. Vaughn is a career like basically nobody coach, man. To tell you the truth, he's a guy that's always been an interim. I think he was coaching Orlando or wherever he was coaching in. Let me get this on the screen here. So I mean, this is the Twitter thing that he was talking about here. This is he's talking about Tom Thibodeau. He says, can you imagine Tom Thibodeau having this kind of reaction with the players that he said never. He would just sit there and tell them to do what he wants them to do, and that's the big limitation of Tom Thibodeau. I agree with that. I agree with that. That's a big limitation of Tom Thibodeau, that he doesn't allow the players to speak or whatever. But even bigger, as the conversation went on Twitter. He mentioned we was talking about the fact that he doesn't even involve the coaches. Tom Thibodeau doesn't even involve the coaches in the decisions here. So if I can get this audio here, hopefully the audio is plays for you guys. This is it here. Vaughn is actually calling out a play. So he's getting everybody together. No timeouts, just regular. This is regular timeout stuff. But listen to this. You can hear it. So yeah, he tells the coach, yo, yo. He tells the coach, yo. Like that's number one. His name is Coach. He's Coach. So the respect factor's got to be there. Regardless if you play with him or not, he should be telling him, Coach. Not yo, yo. And then he tells him, yo, I think you should run it for Kyrie. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the coach is the coach. The players could suggest, but like the yo-yo thing, I don't think that's respect. I don't think that Vaughn is giving the respect to the players. I think that the players just spoke up and said what they need to say. But respect, there's no respect if somebody's telling you yo. Like especially if I'm an authority figure, you're not gonna be telling me yo. and I'm not going to be telling you yo either. It's respect both ways. So that's to me that's disrespectful. But anyway, this is sports, right? That's what somebody's going to say. So Kyrie said, yeah, yeah. So as time goes on, as they get up, look, Kyrie did, Kyrie's questioning if the play is going to work to begin with, so that's a little bit flawed too. But as the play plays out, the play is just Kyrie Irving running up, doing a simple one-on-one move, crossover, and pulls up. So what was the play? What was the argument? Did he want Durant to do it, or Durant passed it off to him, or what was the play? What was the actual write up there? So my thing is with that is if it was like, say, like Claxton, Nick's Claxton on the Nets, if he said something, would his word mean as much as Durant saying something? So like, or like Ben Simmons, if Ben Simmons said it, or somebody like that. All those guys are not even in the picture. It's just they just, I know the camera's showing, but it's just really showing those guys having a conversation. Where's the rest of the team? The rest of the team is standing up, not even paying attention. So the play doesn't have nothing to do with them. Vaughn wanted four guys up top, and they wanted one guy to go one on one. So, when it comes to the decision making and stuff like that, I really don't think that that's that wasn't really a good thing there. But the conversation there with Tom Thibodeau, not allowing the coaching staff to have input on what's happening, and not allowing the players to have input on what's happening. I think that's a valid conversation, because I think that plays into the part of the reason why the Knicks won 8 and then we lost 5, because there's no communication between the coaching staff and the players, where there could be audibles or anything like that called, where something's happening on the court. Tell me what's happening on the court, rather than Tom Thibodeau coming in, calling a timeout and cursing you out. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference between Tom Thibodeau and any other coach, basically any other coach in the NBA. There's a time for cursing out, but there's also a time to get the guys going together, man. So let's get my man in here. I know he's on the side, and make sure that he's good. So let me make sure that everybody can see you. There you go, Mr. Ralph. How's it going, Ralph? Yep, you got to turn the audio on, brother. Your audio's not on. Yep. So Ralph is here. Ralph is getting himself together. There goes Eric Gordon. So Ralph, we were calling you Eric Gordon in that Houston game, because every time they show Eric Gordon, it was like, yo, man, you know what he looked like? He looked like freaking Ralph, man. You know what I'm saying? So Eric Gordon looks exactly like you, man. Nope, can't hear you at all, man. You got to get the audio together. Yeah, man. So me and Ralph, I get on Ralph all the time, man. That's why you haven't seen us
Yeah,
hit together. There you go.
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take this one. I don't know what happened. Let me. Oh, it was on mute. Sorry, it was on
Yeah.
mute. Sorry. Let me get 2 seconds. Sorry about that.
He's on mute again, man. Yeah, so my man Ralph, I'm gonna take him out again. So my man Ralph, we was talking junk about him with the Eric Gordon stuff. But Ralph is crazy, man. Ralph wanted to do the pod today. I hit him up. He didn't hit me back until not till like almost 5 minutes to 9. And now here we are. After 9:30, my man still can't get it together. So here we go.
This shit is
You back?
crazy. Yeah, I'm back. I'm letting that thing
Okay.
go.
I can hear you good. I can hear you good now, man.
Okay,
So
you
I
can
know
hear me, but I can't hear you. I don't know why.
you can't hear me,
I don't know. I can't hear you.
but you can hear me what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, Era. I can't hear you. You're gonna have to give me a minute real quick, because I can't hear you. I was hearing you before. I
You
pressed
can't hear
the
me right now?
button. I can't, bro. I swear to God, I can't hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Ralph. All right, so Ralph is out of
I,
here. So anyway, guys, let's get into the pod. So I mean, I'm looking at the standings here. The Nets at one point of the season, minus 12 wins. The Nets were down below the Knicks, down where the Knicks are, even lower. They were lower than the Knicks. Teams like the Wizards were ahead of us. Teams like Miami was ahead of us. The Pacers were ahead of us. So we're at a point of the season where teams are going up and down. Pacers actually been winning too. They won 4 straight. So we're at a point of the season now where teams are trying to figure themselves out. So the Knicks are on that wave too, where we won 2 straight. You check out the Cavaliers. They just won 2 straight. I'm not going to talk about that 71-point game, but they won 2 straight. So I mean, the Eastern Conference is kind of smoking right now. Even the Wizards won 5 straight. So we had a flux right now where all these teams are basically even. The Knicks are no better than any of these teams. The Hawks, the Heat, the Pacers, the 76ers. So my thing is like what do we need to do to get better? So that's been the conversation that I've been trying to have with Raf every Tuesday, is that how can we get this team better? Because from game to game, the Knicks are going to do what they do. And we're going to play a certain way. There's nothing really outside of that's going to really get better when we play. You know what I'm saying? It's just that we're not just one day. Okay, we need to play better defense, or we need to move the ball, or they need to play this guy or play that guy. We don't exhausted everything. To me, I think we've exhausted every option that we have on this roster. So in order for us to make better and make the team better, like Amadi Finesse is saying here, is that we literally just need to make a trade. So it is like kind of weird because it's like we don't know what the trades are out there. But my thing aside from trades, like we kind of need to understand what makes us tick. What makes us tick, what makes us the team that we are, what makes us a successful team when we are winning. So right now we're on the Knicks are 20 and 18. I think that's where we are. We are a 20 and 18 team. We're gonna go down, up, down, up. Hopefully we stay more above 500 than anything. But 2018 is about where we are. If anybody expects us to win more games, like we should be up at 24 or 23. You know what I'm saying? Once you get up there to the Sixers had a rough season too, a lot of injuries and stuff. But once the Sixers start rolling, we can't compete with an Embiid and a Harden. We can't compete with Donovan Mitchell and his closers and stuff like that. The Bucks, they have Giannis. The Nets have two stars. They got Durant and Kyrie. The Celtics have two stars. They got Brown and my man Tatum over there. So aside from that, we don't have that. We just have Julius. We have Julius and Brunson. You got to give respect to Brunson. RJ is decent too. So I mean, we have our own squad, but we don't have that superstar talent guy that we know we could rely on to create the shot and do stuff like that. So I mean, we just don't have that team. So what's the other option for us is to just get another guy here. We need to get another guy in the same boat of a Brunson, and the same boat of a Julius, same boat of a RJ. At least that's my opinion, and I'm starting to see other content creators say the same thing. Yeah, so the subject line tonight, man, is this we're talking about the teams. I'm going to be comparing the Knicks to the Nets, right? So the question that I'll pose to everyone that's watching is what makes the Nets, outside of having the two top heavy players, what made their streak continue? What made their streak continue to 12 games? Because at one point the Knicks were leading them in the streak, but then they pulled away and now they have 12 wins. So what made them continue the streak, and what made us go on a losing streak? So let's talk about that here. So I got this the Knicks roster. So these are basically the players that we've been using here. So let me make sure I get this out of here. Hide this. Let me get this on the screen here. So I mean this is the Knicks roster. Hopefully you guys can see it. Let me make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it a little bit better. So you got 150. So that should be fine. So Julius Randle, you got RJ. RJ's hurt at the moment, but he's part of what we do. RJ, you got Jalen, you got IQ, Mitch, Quentin Grimes, you got Isaiah Hartenstein. So let me see. I got a little messed up here. So here you go. This is basically the guys. You got Hartenstein, Fournier's in the mix now. Miles McBride and Jericho Sims. I didn't put Obi in there because Obi's been hurt for a while. Obi actually just got upgraded, so he might actually come back into the fray here. So I mean, the person that's probably going to be out is probably going to be Jericho Sims. But at the same time, we kind of need those guys because we're not so good that we can take one guy out the rotation, whatever. So I mean, that's the conversation we're having with the Tom Thibodeau thing. So I mean, just looking at this roster, like I'm trying to say, we need that extra guy. I would love to have Kuzma, but they just won 5 straight themselves. So maybe Washington might be looking in the same grain as us. Maybe they might be looking for someone to help them out, to push them into the playoffs and stuff like that. They might be thinking along the same lines as us. Shout out to the Bulls. We thought the Bulls were floundering, but they were winning too at one point. They had a decent winning streak going on. So my thing is, like, where do we find this player? And also another guy in Charlotte, my man, the one of the kid in Charlotte, I think he blew his leg out or something like that. So he's gonna be out for a while. So there's quite a few other players that we've been talking about that they're hurt, and so it kind of messes up the plans. But like I'm trying to say, the Knicks need that extra player. So let's look at the Nets, right? So my man said, who cares about the Nets? But listen to the story here. The Nets, they got Kyrie, they got Durant, they got Royce O'Neal. Outside of the top guys, you got Royce O'Neal, you got Nick Claxton, even Ben Simmons, Joe Harris, Seth Curry. This is the one person I want to highlight. You got T.J. Warren, you got Watanabe, Edmund Sudler, Cam Thomas. Any of those guys hurting you? outside of Durant and Kyrie, any of those guys hurting you at all? Are those players so much better than the players that I mentioned on the Knicks? They're starting center, Mitchell Robinson. What is this guy's averaging? He got 8 rebounds per game. Similar stats to Mitchell Robinson, I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Ben Simmons. He's not the same Ben Simmons, so I mean comparable to Brunson. He's very comparable to Brunson. Some of these other guys, Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Joe Harris and Fournier. What's the difference? Seth Curry and from for his role, he could be more of a scorer. He could be a starter, Steph Curry. So that's where that lies. But I mean, what's the difference between him and IQ? Seth Curry and IQ and Joe Harris and Fournier. What's the difference? Not really much. You know what I'm saying? The one person that I want to say that sticks out to me is TJ Warren, because literally TJ Warren could be that guy that we could add to the roster to make us that better team. Because if you look at the minutes here for the Nets, the top players here, you got Kyrie Irving 36, Kevin Durant 36, Royce O'Neal out of necessity has been playing 35 minutes. But outside of that, everybody else is below 30. A lot of guys below 30. So Nash, shout out to Nash. Also shout out to this guy uh you know whatever my man's name is. I keep forgetting his name, but Coach Vaughn. Coach Vaughn, he's been playing a lot of guys too. He actually played all these guys that I have here, 12 guys. He played all 12 of these guys in the last game. Now, if you look back at the Knicks, right, this is basically the Knicks rotation. Tom Thibodeau will not go over 9 to save his life. We did play 2 other guys, but they only play 1 minute apiece. You know what I'm saying? So this is it. Tom Thibodeau wants to run a 9-man rotation. If you look at our minutes, man, we got Julius 34, RJ 34, Jalen 30, 32. Quentin Grimes' minutes is going up exponentially. So is Mitchell Robinson. If you look at the actual game that we played the other day, everybody played 30 minutes. The bench, I think the highest person might have been 14. Then you got 12. I think Jericho Sims played 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So the bench is not really being utilized. It's just Tom Thibodeau burning out the top 5 guys that we have, and just burning them out and just using the other guys sparingly. So in order to save his own self, he needs to get this together, man. But the thing about that is that Tom Thibodeau, Leon Rose needs to save Tom Thibodeau, and vice versa, man. So this is a crazy thing here. So listen, I got State here. If State is watching, man, if you free State, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do this, man. If you free, pop into the chat. I actually got my man Ralph Diaz in the background, but he's having all kind of fucking issues today, which is nuts. You know what I'm saying? But this is I got the thing here. If you're here, if you're there, Mr. State, you could pop in and take a look, and pop in on the pod, and then we can continue the conversation. So I mean, like I feel like the only conversation right now is just to seriously get the Knicks help. The Knicks need help. Right now, I believe in everything that we're doing. Julius Randle gets a lot of flack, especially from my guy State here. State, complains about RJ all the time. But RJ, excuse me, not RJ, Julius. He complains about Julius all the time, but he's actually been playing really well for us. He's been playing, really, really well here, especially the last few games. He's basically like the last 7 games been averaging 30 points per game. The last few games there. You know what I'm saying? So what do we do to make the roster better? Selling high is one thing that State likes to say all the time. Selling high. I don't know about selling high, because if you're talking about selling high, now you're talking about rebuilding. Sticking Obi in there. If Obi gets the minutes, will he get the same production? So we're talking about big heavy shoes to fill, because Julius Randle is actually playing really good basketball for the season. 24 points, 10 rebounds, 3.8 assists. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the last 7 games, 33 points, 13 rebounds, close to 5 assists, great percentages all around, 3-point percentages and things of that nature. So I mean, what is Obi Toppin capable of doing that right now? And if we make that trade, to get rid of Julius, right? That basically sabotages everything that this whole club has built up until this point. You know what I'm saying? So here's another question for everyone out there. Is like, what's more important for us to build, to chop it down and to just like literally just build over RJ, build over the quote unquote young guys that are all in their early 20s now. Everybody's in their early 20s. So rebuilding around these early 20 guys is still going to put us in the same position, because now you have to wait for the draft. But then once we get the draft guys, you're talking about 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds. It's gonna be 18-year-olds. You might get 18, 19, and 20-year-olds coming in here to get into the mix with basically our veteran guys. Minus let's say minus Julius, if you want to get Julius out of here. We're talking about 22, 26, 22, 24, 23, 23. These guys got some age on them, man. Even Hartenstein is 24 and stuff like that. These guys are like young rookies. Old rookies, excuse me, old young players. How do we get better? How do we get better? Is that the correct way to go? I can't say nothing bad either way, but it has to make sense. Are we gonna build through the draft? So now we're gonna wait 3 more years? Now, if you wait 3 more years, now you got Jalen Brunson talking about that he's like 28 to 29 years old now. Now you're talking about Quentin Grimes that all of a sudden he's 25 now. Julius Randle will be 25 at that point. Guys like quickly in 3 more years he'd be 26. So we just made the roster older, but how did we get better? We got better by drafting people that we don't even know who we're going to get. What I'm saying? Tanking and stuff like that is not guaranteed. It's just a crazy argument, but it is a valid argument, and this is the point of the season where we are that's here, man. So I'm gonna tap to my man here again because he said, Mighty Finesse to get Ralph up in here, man. So listen, I'm gonna get Ralph in here. So Ralph, can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you good, man.
Good, cool.
All right, so I set it out, man. So I'm painting the picture here with Tom Thibodeau and Vaughn and the Nets and the Knicks. And my opinion, how they got better, Kyrie, the Kyrie situation died down. You know what I'm saying? Guys got healthy on the roster, and then they fired the coach. They fired Nash. So they had a perfect storm of everything that happened at the same time. And then they started winning and stuff. Same thing with the Knicks. Perfect storm. We changed the rotation to 9, which was good. Kept certain guys out of the roster, got rid of Cam and stuff like that, and then we ended up getting on a winning streak. We started losing when guys started to get hurt. So
Right.
I mean, just based off of everything that you heard me say, man. When you have anything to add or anything that you don't agree with?
I had some of my fair share pushback. I had pushback with the RJ points.
Okay.
I don't, I hate to say it, especially with the points about with State and him wanting to tank. That whole narrative. I just really want to push back on all that because, the only young guy right now that'll make me say, oh, we should continue building through the draft is probably Manu Quickly today. Manu Quickly is playing the kind of basketball that makes me say, okay, he's going to be a solid 6-man so far. Julius Randle is playing all-star level. That's a fair point you made over there. Jalen Brunson is playing all-star level. RJ Barrett is still. What is RJ Barrett to you? You think he's a star or is he?
No, I don't think anybody's a star. I like when people talk about
Julius
stars,
Randle and Jalen Brunson. I mean, I've been voting all-star for them too.
well, I voted for all-star for them, just because. But I mean, do I think he's a star? No, I don't think he's a star at all. Can he get
Jalen
better?
Brunson
Yeah.
or Julius or both?
I don't think we have a star anywhere, but I think the way Julius is playing, I think RJ can get there. You know what I'm saying? Is Julius a star?
But you're not saying this year because we're talking about this year, right? We don't want to talk about 2 years from now because that throws the conversation away. We want let's stick to. I feel like it's important. Let's talk about what RJ Barrett did so far and what he can do this season. I think that's a fair argument. So my whole thing is, what has RJ proven so far this season, and what could he prove this season to you?
Well, he's already proven it. He proved that he's a slow starter, and he proved that he still can't really finish in the paint. But before he got hurt, he actually was coming on. He started to play a lot better. So I think that what we saw before he got hurt, I think that's the RJ that we need out there. That's what I think. But all those titles, stars, and all that stuff, I don't believe in none of that stuff. These guys need to play basketball.
My whole thing is that when RJ produces, we lose those games. Like we can't say because RJ went 30 points or 40 points against the Bulls and we lost that game, like that still holds weight. Like, no. Your number 3 picks, usually when it goes to a number 3 pick, I believe, bro, like, when are we gonna get the RJ Barrett that's gonna help us win games? And I don't feel like RJ Barrett does not make me want to tank for. RJ Barrett does not make me want to say, let's go 17-65 again to get another player. He
Right.
does not make me want to do that. I don't know if he does. I don't know if he makes the chat want to do that. I don't know if other YouTubers want to go 17-65 for another player like RJ Barrett. Right now, no, I don't, because I'm already like, we should have somebody who's as good as Julius Randle year 4, who's as good as Julius Randle, if not better, because that's been going on. That's what, if you look through the last 5 years, 6 years, most players that a lot of people love and that want to get, but a lot of them are top five, 1 through 3, and some of them skip the 1 through 3. But for the most part, who doesn't want Jason Tatum in their roster? Who doesn't want Joel Embiid in their roster? Who doesn't want LaMelo Ball in their roster? Like, so I feel like, wait a minute, like, when is, if RJ Barrett, you know, I just not, I'm just still waiting on this guy to be on to play high level basketball. Jalen Brown, who doesn't want Jalen Brown in their roster?
Okay,
One of my
but I
favorite
mean,
players.
we're not good. We don't have those guys though. So my thing is, how do we function with him on the roster? You
I
know,
feel
with
like we
RJ.
sort of do with Julius Randle. Julius Randle does go against, he's passing the ball. He could shoot the ball just as efficient, and that counts.
Right.
Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson is having that season where you know, I can argue. I would at least I can argue with you and have a discussion with you for 20 minutes about Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson with the kind of season they're having, and with at least Julius Randle made all NBA the 2020 season. So at least I have an argument. But I feel like we don't have an argument with RJ Barrett yet. He's just on year 4, and people want to create a false narrative, like as if he's like elite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as
Well,
if
it's
he's
not
like,
that he is elite. It's just they just think that he's going to be something that he isn't. He hasn't shown yet. You know.
I'm still frustrated on him on year 4. Year 4, I'm like, it's look, we're approaching almost 41 games. We're like 28-10. So that's 28, 38 games. 3 more games, and we're mid-season, and this is what we got from RJ Barrett. And people want to say, like, as if we're drafted, as if um we have a sound draft pick reputation. We don't. I'm sorry, but if you're going on year 4, and you're struggling like that with your slow starts, and you still don't want Tom Thibodeau to help you with your slow starts for the season, we're striking out. I mean, I don't want to say it's a strikeout, but it's not. It doesn't make RJ Barrett look good.
Right.
It
But
doesn't look good.
at the same time, RJ Barrett hasn't played in a while, man. He hasn't played in
Well,
like
it doesn't. Does it make him look good that he's not drafted number 3 and he's not an All-Star candidate?
well, he doesn't have to be an all-star candidate. That's the problem
I
too,
I disagree.
because
This is the pushback I want to give everybody. How you draft top 5, number 3, and you're not expected to be at least All-Star candidate? How?
listen, there's a lot of top 5 picks that don't pan out, or
Who
they
are
just don't become
probably
all
mid-tier, average players? Then we're talking mids, right?
right. Well, would you describe would you describe RJ as completely useless? You know, I don't I
Mid,
don't.
right? We're talking like as if he's like Otto Porter or Ennis Canner or OJ Mayer kind of material. Is that what we're comparing him to?
No, I'm not comparing him to anything. I mean, you're going on the RJ tangent. I'm trying to figure out how we can win without him, because my thing with RJ is that he don't have to be an all-star just because he was
You know,
drafted at a certain
I
position.
just
He just has to be good. He just has to be
so why
usable
would
for
you
us.
want to tank? Why would you want to tank if you're drafted in the superstar slot? Top 3 is superstar slot. That's responsibility when you draft in top 3. You can't just get why can't you just get a decent player with the number 3 pick? You can't do that. It's not good enough. It's not good enough.
I know,
Like,
but I mean,
and that's
he
what
was
I want to
drafted like
bring my
4 years ago.
arguments to. I want to bring my arguments to tell everybody, anybody around me, being good is not good enough when you're top 3. That's not good enough. I don't
Well,
know.
listen. But, I mean, regardless of what you feel about RJ, top 10 is not good enough. Right now, it's 2023. So we can't complain about his draft class. Right now that his draft he was drafted in 2019, right? So we can't argue all day about where he was drafted and how he's not this all star yet. What I'm saying? It would be nice, right? But I got right on the screen right now. I got his last game that he played. He didn't shoot well, 6 for 21, but he did get 17 points. He did get 10 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? We lost to Philly, but
Okay.
Julius Randle had 35 and stuff like that. So I mean, you're looking at Quentin Grimes' stats, you're looking at Brunson's stats, Mitchell Robinson. So there's a functional roster here. So outside of RG becoming an All Star and all this stuff, it's kind of irrelevant because if the Duke can at least produce like this, he got a double against Philly. What I'm saying, in a close game. Because I mean, we ended up losing at the end, 19 to 12, but we were winning. We were winning in that fourth quarter, and then Philly came back. What I'm saying.
Right.
So we,
We were
we, we
winning the
can we
first
can
three
put together
quarters.
a functional team with RJ. So my thing with the conversation with any of our players, Julius Randle or RJ, like we got these guys on our roster regardless. Like because the Julius Randle's conversation is like, oh, we need to just get rid of him, fuck him, and this, that, and the other. But on the flip side with
Right.
RJ, oh, we need to build around RJ, give him the ball and this, that, and the other. We that I think either both sides, no matter what you say on both sides, or depending on who subscribes to that stuff, that's not getting us anywhere.
I look. My whole thing is we. I'm keeping in pers. I'm keeping. We. I think it's important to keep things in perspective. That R.J. Barrett was almost traded for Donovan Mitchell last summer,
Mhm.
and I don't believe R.J. Barrett is helping himself so far. So if you want to improve this team, which is a narrative, which is something that you always talk about, I RJ Barrett is still in the hot seat. I I believe he's still in the hot seat with Leon Rose, Tibbs, the whole front office. He has to be in the conversation. Has to be. You can't ignore it. You can't ignore it no more.
Right.
Why? Because last summer there is proof that he was almost gone last summer. This is not my narrative no more. This is bigger than me. And
But
I cannot defend RJ Barrett right now. He doesn't give you nothing to work with. He doesn't. What's RJ Barrett? What can I defend? Oh, RJ Barrett is a cool guy. I met him. What do I want to say? He's averaging 17 and 10. A lot of people could. No, you're number 3 pick. That's why he was almost traded for Donovan Mitchell, and Donovan Mitchell went for 71 points. This is why Leon Rose. I can't. If I have to look at Leon Rose in the eye and RJ Barrett, I can't tell Leon Rose you're wrong for trading for consider to trade RJ Barrett. I can't say that. I can't say that.
okay, I'm
I'm a
not arguing
Knicks
with you at
fan.
all. I don't. You arguing with somebody? Who you arguing with?
No, I'm arguing that whole narrative about trading Julius Randle or for and building and tanking for the kids and building around RJ Barrett. That whole narrative falls into pieces. If he was at least a star, okay, we got legs to work with. You got. I'll give it to anybody. Yo, bro, if he was a star, we got. Oh, you got legs to work with. You got a reason now. RJ
Right.
Barrett's a star. If he was a star, like, oh, bro, like, hey, I love Julius, but we drafted RJ and he's a star. So
Right.
that holds weight.
All right.
That
So I,
really
I got
holds
I got you
weight.
with the narrative, but I'm trying to get you off it. Because we
Okay.
got to talk about the team. RJ. Okay, RJ needs to be whatever. I don't agree with the fact that he needs to be an all star. But I mean, I get what you're saying because you're not arguing with me. You're arguing with somebody that's not here, aka State, right?
With what people are saying, State or anybody who agrees with
Right.
State, and people in the chat, some people in the chat, or some people who might even rewatch the show. Like
Right.
for me, the only time I would say I would consider tanking is if RJ was a star, at least a star. If he was at least a star, I'm like, oh snap, you got legs to work. I'm not. I'm not saying none of that if he's not a star. And
All right.
he
I got you. I got you.
and on top of that, his abysmal slow starts. No way. No way should that even be a conversation, in my honest opinion. So that's what I'm upset. I'm frustrated about. It's like, how does that even have legs with an abysmal slow start, and he's still not even an all-star candidate? Like, it should not even have any legs to work with. That's what
All right,
I
I got
feel.
you. I got you. Hey, yo, Ralph, you said it like 4 times the same shit. You know that? But
So,
listen, Julius Randle. Talk about Julius Randle. So like, people want to get rid of Julius Randle. We're not trading Julius, right? So Julius is on the
right.
team, right? So RJ, when he's healthy and Julius is here, like, how can we get the most out of what we're seeing here? Because right now Julius is playing out of his mind. So
Right.
once we're healthy and stuff like that, how could we get past the bullshit narratives and stuff that you keep talking about with RJ? Let's talk about 2023 and how we can move forward. And then besides everything that happened in the past, what can we do now with the roster that we have here?
Well, right now, the best way to help out Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, the All-Star candidates, right, is to, I think, coaching. Look, Emmanuel quickly is playing well. If, if we can make a trade, depends who's out there, right? Because the thing is, we don't really know who's out there, and so how can we really help out this team? That's a good question because the dynamic is starting to grow. We're starting to see more Miles McBride getting minutes, playing with Mitchell Robinson, defending at a high level. So that goes. I like when those two play together. Um, Tom Thibodeau's trying new things. Playing, I think he played Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims together last game, or was it Isaiah Hartenstein and Jericho Sims? I lost track. I'm like, oh snap! I just noticed how Tom Thibodeau likes to try new things when he could.
Well, he's pulling it. He's doing that out of necessity. He's out of desperation now, really, because I mean, he doesn't really have nothing really much to pull from. He had to pull Fournier back off the bench because we're just dead. But if check this out. I mentioned this on Dope Soul podcast here. This starting lineup actually looked pretty good. The only problem is that everybody's playing over 35 minutes. Even Mitchell Robinson hit 34 minutes here. So I mean, just check this out. Julius Randle, you got Jalen Brunson, right? Quentin Grimes played small forward. You got Quickly, and then you also got Mitchell Robinson. So I mean, they actually looked really good from the get go, and I think it put Phoenix on their heels. They weren't able to recover from that. So, what do you think about what you saw against Phoenix in this particular group? Because RJ's not in this group. So, what do you think about this setup here with
Yeah, no,
these five guys?
we're gonna give RJ a break already.
I'm giving
What was
RJ.
the? Yeah, me too. Me too. So you said Julius Randle. Who else?
Yeah, everybody that played the last game, the starting lineup
Oh,
was
the last game
Julius.
was fine. I mean, it's cool, man. But it was a great win. But Devin Booker didn't play, so people are already trying to, like, oh, Devin Booker didn't play, another win. But I still don't matter. We need these W's, bro. Like if
But
he's
listen,
there,
RJ
then we're
didn't play
supposed
either,
to win.
man. You were talking badly about RJ, but RJ still can get you 18 and whatever. So they were missing Devin Booker. We were missing RJ. So
Yeah,
it's the
but
same thing.
Devin
But what my
Booker,
question to you, Raf, my question
Devin
is
Booker's an
the
all star.
starting five.
We're not. No, we're not. I didn't bring up RJ. You shouldn't have brought up RJ. Devin Booker wasn't there. He's an all star. I'm not going to compare Devin Booker to RJ. RJ is not in that level. So we're not. You
It's not
don't.
about the level. It's just that we're
He's
missing a
not
20
that.
point
He's
a game
not
scorer
him.
too.
He's not him right now. These 4 years he hasn't proven that he's for me. He's not him to bring up when I talk Devin Booker. You can't push back RJ. He's not him like that.
Well, let me
He's
let me
not
let me tell you
there.
something, man. RJ's average. I'm not a fan of RJ. I want to bench RJ, and I would trade RJ today if I had to. But listen, he averages 20 points. So if we're missing a 20 point a game
A,
scorer,
a
that's going to be a
disgusting
bad thing
20
for us,
points.
regardless of
20.
whatever you think that Devin Booker is better than RJ. Now, I'm not putting that. I'm not doing that because that's not what I do on this show. I'm not. This is not Twitter
I'm
Spaces.
just saying,
I don't
but
do that on this show. I'm just saying they missed their best player, and we missed one of our best players. So is that even? But my
average.
question,
He's
my
average.
question though has to do with the starting five in Phoenix. I'm asking you, what do you think about the starting five? Because I don't want to be arguing back and forth about RJ because you already did it like 4 or 5 times already. So my thing is, I'm
um,
like, what do you think about this setup here without RJ? Because RJ's not in this lineup, but I
it's
mentioned
all
him
right.
one time and you keep talking about RJ. So I'm asking you about this starting lineup against Phoenix. What did you think about that?
It's decent. It's decent.
But I mean, you got to give me more than that, man. Because I mean, listen, they played 35 minutes apiece.
Well,
I
you're
mean,
talking about the starting five. The Knicks. I mean, it's all right. Right now. Look, it's been a few games. Hold on, let me remember what other game because we got cooked by the Mavericks. So it was before this game, before this Suns game. Was the Mavericks game right before it?
now we
Who?
played a few games before that. We won against Houston, and then we played
Oh,
against
right, the
San
Houston
Antonio
game.
also.
Right. So it's the Houston. So it's I feel like we need to be more tested. That starting five needs more. Oh, Emmanuel quickly in the starting. I like Emmanuel
You
quickly.
see, you're not listening to
I'm
me because
sorry,
I'm
I
saying
can't see
this
it.
was the starting lineup the last Phoenix game. It was
That's
Julius,
what
Jalen,
you know what it
Quentin
is. I
Grimes,
can't see
quickly,
it
and
from
Mitchell
here.
Robinson.
I can't. You're right. I'm
No,
sorry. I
but
can't
listen,
see
listen,
it.
man. You got to know who played what. If you following these games, you got these opinions and stuff like that. You didn't see the last game. You didn't know who started.
No, I
These
did
guys
see it. I
started.
did see the game. I did see the game, and
So
I
if
even
you
got
saw the
to.
game, then you know the starting lineup. I'm just putting it out there. So my question to you is, what did you think about the way this looked?
I think it's very good. I liked Emmanuel quickly in the starting line. He was good. He was good. I liked him. I remember now.
Okay.
That's what That's what it is. Sometimes I watch the games, my mind blurs it out. But yeah, Emmanuel quickly. Yeah. I like the way Emmanuel quickly is playing right now. Like I really,
Well,
he's getting it going.
to add just to get to the point here, I mentioned this to Steph, right? I thought it looked pretty good, but I forgot my other guy that was there, but anyway, they both were pushing back on the fact that Grimes is not tall enough to play small forward. But at the same
Okay.
time, I'm not thinking about positions and stuff like that. I'm thinking about how guys can be productive as a group. So as a group, all these guys playing together, I thought that they played well off each other because for the simple fact that quickly the game before done shot like 29 shots. You know what I'm saying? Erratic shots. He shot 30 something percent or whatever it was. He did have his 27 points or whatever he had, but he was erratic. But in this game here, playing with Jalen Brunson, he shot 6 for 12, a little bit more efficient. You get what I'm
Mm,
trying to say here? So I mean,
yeah,
Jalen Brunson and quickly actually did play well together. And Quentin Grimes playing off those guys, he played well as well. And it gave Julius an opportunity to do what he can do, and it gave Brunson to do what he can do without having RJ in the mix. You get what I'm trying to say? So when
yeah.
RJ comes back, regardless of let's I'm trying to stop you because I don't want to be talking about
No, no,
the
no,
past and
no,
shit like that and
no.
draft picks. I'm talking about the roster in 2023 right now. So I mean, like when RJ comes back, like how does RJ fit in with the good play that we've been having the last couple games?
That's an interesting question. I don't know who's going to stay in the starting lineup because Emmanuel quickly started. That was exciting to see him play. Start. Quentin Grimes is on. He's hot and cold. Sometimes he goes 1 for 10.
Yeah,
Like he had games like he goes 1 for 10 or 2 for 10. So like that's good. But I like Emmanuel quickly's defense. He's getting steals a lot. It seems like I noticed his steals. I noticed his defense. I mean, both Grimes and quickly have great defense. Like it's just different.
yeah.
But it seems like Emmanuel quickly is playing the passing lanes, and he's playing well in the passing lanes. So that's what I'm liking about quickly, and I noticed that Emmanuel quickly is averaging 1 steal for the season for the first time. That's great to see. Um, but Quentin Grimes, he could come and go. Like sometimes he's so like sometimes because he misses too many shots. Like I forgot, I don't remember what game is that we lost, but maybe it was that Mavericks game where Grimes was too cold. Like that's the thing. Like the starting lineups has been changing a lot because
Well, due to injury and stuff.
Did Deuce McBride start that game with the Mavericks?
And so
It seemed like Deuce started that game with Deuce because Jalen Brunson was hurt that game.
well,
You
Deuce
remember?
didn't start, but he did play a lot of minutes. Well, he played like
Oh, he
46
played a
minutes.
lot of minutes. I'm sorry. So that's what I'm forgetting right now. That Deuce we're seeing a lot of Deuce. Emmanuel quickly did have a great game though. Even though his statistically he had a great game, we lost fine, but he's still keeping it going. So I
Well, he was erratic though, man. He had 11 assists in the first half, and then he only had 4 in the second half, including overtime.
I remember. I think I heard you say that in a previous
Yeah.
live stream.
He
Yeah.
also was 5 for 21. So I mean, he's erratic. IQ is just as erratic as the rest of them. This guy Quentin Grimes had 33 points though against Dallas.
And I think was he efficient that game? I think he was efficient that game.
Yeah, 48% is fine for a shooting guard. He was shooting 43% from three. So all that
Yeah,
stuff is pretty good. He
but
actually had his best game as a Knick.
but the thing is, like the next game, he'll go 1 for 10.
Right.
That's the problem. So sometimes you need quickly there offensively being more aggressive than he should be because, bro, Quentin Grimes, he doesn't have it going.
Right. So let me throw this at you. All right. So I know this is not going to happen because this is Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau is not going to all of a sudden bench RJ. But just based off of how quickly he's been playing, right? So I
Mhm.
just throw it out there. What do you think about what do you think about the idea of having that starting lineup that we saw against Phoenix against since RJ's been out and stuff, right? What do you think about having RJ come off the bench? It's not necessarily a demotion, but
Mhm.
it's just more for like just logistic stuff. Like the starting lineup works. But let's say like you said, if Grimes is not playing well, then you could just pull Grimes and put RJ in. And then at that point, RJ is just going to be playing in the game, or whatever. Then you could just you in that rotation. What do you think about having RJ come off the bench like that?
Bro, that's something that Uncle Fooley has been talking about. He said that way before, and sometimes I said it. I said it one time. Have considered that. The one reason that made me consider that is, I mean, you made a great point, because you made a great point too about it. That you first of all, you said something along the lines about he seems to play well with the second unit. Because it's when they sub out Julius Randle and RJ, they keep RJ around a little bit longer to play with the second unit, and he plays well with the second unit, and
Right.
that's a great point. I've been when you said that, I've kind of been noticing that. Before that, and I got to remind you that I also said that that Jordan Poole comes off the bench, and he was drafted in the same draft class as RJ. Tyler Hero comes off the bench, and he was the same. He's getting paid more than RJ. Jordan Poole's making more money than RJ, and he comes off the bench. Jordan Poole, so does Tyler Hero, and the thought of RJ Barrett coming off the bench, especially with he's getting better. Look, he's at 42% from the field. He's getting better now. It's just early on the season where the frustrations come out, where it's like I feel he should come off the bench, because like 38%, when he's like shooting in the 38, 39% from the field and getting torched defensively, that's when I'm like, bro, we got to get this. He should be coming off the bench, and he shouldn't be starting. No way should he be starting a season like that. Like, that's unacceptable as a
Right.
number 3 pick. But you got people like Vinny Vegas already, mad because I said what I said about RJ and whatever, and that's how it goes. Like, if he's playing at this level, he's shooting 42%. Fine, okay, that's acceptable. Even as a slow start, that's acceptable. But you can't go the first 25 games, you know, 38%, and then I gotta hear other people and their opinions that strongly disagree. It's just he's not giving anybody nothing to work with. I voted. I want him to be an all-star.
I just want him to play good basketball. I don't like that All Star shit. I don't give a fuck about the All Star stuff. I just want the team to win. Because I mean,
Okay.
like we have good players on our team. So if Julius makes it and RJ and let's say if Julius makes it and Brunson makes it, the chances of RJ becoming an All Star at that point is going to be tough. But at the same time, does it matter if we're winning? It doesn't. It really doesn't matter. But like I said, I don't want to go down that road because you done said it
No,
like
I
six
got you.
times already. But so my thing is, I just want to talk about the RJ stuff coming off the bench, like him coming off the
Okay.
bench. As far as the starting lineup here, I think Julius had space, Brunson had space to do what he could do. Quentin Grimes had the driving lanes that he needed. IQ had the lanes, and both of them had the shots that they needed based off of what Julius and Brunson were doing. And also Mitchell Robinson also had enough room to move in there whenever Julius and Brunson, even on Quentin Grimes with those dishes. He's been doing really good, driving and dishing to Mitch and stuff like that. So Mitch has been the decoy that he's been needed to be this whole time. So I just like the way that look, the way they play together. I like the way they play together. So I mean, just to bring back to RJ plays better off of screens going downhill. You agree with that?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
He
like
also
just
does a lot of he also does a lot of curls. He cuts a lot, and yeah, he's good with those.
Yeah, comes over, he takes a screen, then he just goes downhill right to the basket. He does a good job of getting into the paint. So my thing is like is when he comes off the bench and now we can start implementing that system. Like we can have the starting lineup running the way that they play, playing really well together, moving the ball and stuff like that. But then once we start subbing, then we could get RJ in there, and then we can start with getting him to go off screens and stuff because it gives us a different look. I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of having a different look with the guys on your bench and stuff. But aside from that, I still think regardless of how that change looks, I still feel like this roster needs another guy. Just another guy to
Who's
be in the mix.
and I felt like we both felt the same way when Cam Reddish was playing good ball. Like Cam Reddish, at one point we felt. I think you can agree with me that we wanted like Cam Reddish should be starting. Like he defends well. He has he he can lay up, he can shoot, he can pass. And there was a time where it was a great idea with Cam Reddish starting. Like I wouldn't be upset him playing small forward.
But that's a good point though. So what do you think? Who would you rather play, Cam Reddish or Grimes?
Um, eh, right now, current Grimes is on year two. He just it's
2023, 2023. Just forget about the year two and
no.
year three
What
and all
what I
that.
mean to say is, but and that's the thing is like he needs more time. He's just too inconsistent with his shots. Like he can make some shots though. Like there are shots that we see like wow, but there's also, so like man, how many points did he finish? Like that argument that Quentin Grimes finishes with too few points is starting to hold weight more these days. You know what I mean? Even though he's gonna get better eventually, but it's noticeable. Like it's like wait a minute. If Cam Reddish would have played some more minutes, maybe we would have been closer into this game. You know what I mean?
So Cam Reddish and Grimes. Like who would you prefer to be the starter?
Someday, I'll probably start. I probably like a little today. If you ask me today, I probably say Cam Reddish. That's the question.
You would
I
rather
like
have Cam Reddish out there aside from what you see from Grimes right now?
if I was the coach, I mean, I feel like Cam Reddish gave me more through the first 20 games. Like he kind of gave me more defense, didn't miss as much as Grimes. You know what I mean? That matters. Like even though Grimes spaces the floor more, you know what I mean, and we need those floor spaces because we do need to shoot threes. We need to take at least 30 to 43 pointers a game. We got to keep up with the league. But the thing is like also Grimes. The thing is that Cam Reddish he defends well. You know what I mean. It seems like he can defend. I mean, and he's taller than and Cam Reddish is also taller than Grimes. So that's the thing that right. That's just right now. That's of as of today. Um, Sometimes Quentin Grimes is just too cold for me. Sometimes I'm like, man,
But I think the way you're describing him, I think you're describing Cam Reddish. A lot of times Cam Reddish will be invisible too. He'll be
you know
invisible.
what?
You know,
You got me there.
yeah.
Got me there.
One thing
Yes.
about the difference between the two is that Quentin Grimes is decisive. I think when Quentin Grimes gets the ball, he goes. Either he takes the shot, moves the ball, or he takes off to the paint. So he makes more concise decisions. So that's the reason why I like Grimes what he's doing there. And like I said, also I just like that I like the five the way they play together. So I don't know if they should be starting, but just like in the mix of how we can win, I just think that the guys that we're playing, I think it works. But like I keep saying, like Fournier, Fournier coming in there, I think we needed that. We needed that. But I mean, once RJ comes back, what happens now? Because Fournier's probably gonna go back to the bench and stuff. So but there's definitely minutes out there. Shout out to Jericho Sims, shout out to Deuce. And when Obi comes back, Obi's gonna be in that mix too. But I don't think any of those guys are worth it. I still think we need to look outside to upgrade that spot coming off the bench.
Also, but I wouldn't oppose the idea of Quentin Grimes starting at shooting guard and Cam Reddish at small forward. That's what kind of threw me off of this conversation because
Yeah.
you said Quentin Grimes or Cam Reddish while also benching RJ. So that kind of threw me off. I'm like, wait a minute, if we're benching RJ, why can't Quentin Grimes play shooting guard and why can't Cam Reddish play small forward? That's
No,
what
but yeah, but that's the conversation though. If I said something, you bring it up. So you bring up a good point. Cam Reddish could start at small forward and have RJ
yeah,
come off the bench.
that's what
That
I
works.
prefer. I would prefer that. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So that way I'm not arguing Quentin Grimes or Cam Reddish. there shouldn't be a conversation then. That kind of ends everything.
But I just brought it up the point, just the two guys. I just brought it, would you prefer either one of those two? But then you brought up the point, just start both of them. So
Yeah,
I actually like that idea. I like the
yeah,
idea of starting
that's how I
Cameron.
did. That's better. That's better because to start Quentin Grimes at small forward. Ugh. I'd rather have him as shooting guard. And if he has it going, great. And if not, Cam Reddish can have it going. Whatever.
Yeah, but the also thing too is that now quickly is alienated too. Quickly goes back to the bench. You know what I'm saying? Quickly
Or
off the bench is because they got usually have him playing point guard coming off the bench, and it doesn't really he's just so erratic, man. You know what I'm saying? He's just very erratic. I'm trying to
hmm
figure out a way to avoid that to kind of mask his erraticness. I
right.
don't think that's ever gonna happen there. Hey man, shout out to guys in the chat. We got Geraldine here. I didn't announce this podcast. I wasn't even gonna do it, but my man Ralph hit me up at the last hour here, man. So me and Ralph are going crazy here
Yeah.
talking our junk here. But
But I
yeah,
am here. I am here.
yeah. Well, all right. Let me throw this at you. I've been wanting to ask people this for a minute. Um, let's talk about let's say the Lakers, right? So I know this is kind of blasphemous, but when you talk about Kobe and the Lakers, I'm talking about the second when Shaq left, right? He had Paul
Okay.
Gasol, right? It was Kobe, Paul
Mhm.
Gasol.
Andrew
He had
Bynum.
Bynum. He also had Bynum. Let me get this in here while I'm talking. He had Bynum. I can't remember who the point guard was. But they had that squad. But I think I mentioned this to you before. They also had Lamar Odom coming off the bench.
Mm,
Paul Gasol was a starter, but Lamar Odom was off the bench. Lamar Odom could have started on any team in the NBA. The guy is still a really good player. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm not calling RJ Kobe, and I'm not calling Julius Randle Paul Gasol. I'm not doing that. And
okay, I
I'm not
follow. I
calling
follow.
what I'm saying? But I'm not calling
So
them that, but it's just the fact like how the roster was built. Like even the championship team that had Paul Gasol and they had Kobe, and they had Bynum, they still needed Lamar Odom off the bench.
correct.
Ron Artest was on the roster too. You still needed that
Oh,
talent, you know.
correct. Well,
Yeah, so
what was the point? What was the? Why did you make that comparison for?
because a lot of fans say like if we get that extra player, who are we getting? That guy, like what are they gonna do for us and that type of stuff. But my thing is what they're gonna do for us is that even like the point is like even though a team like the Lakers had these players, they still needed those guys off the bench. Like
Mm,
Kobe didn't do it by himself. Like people
right.
you were making an argument about RJ being a number 3 pick and all that stuff, and you're going crazy about it. But him being a number 3 pick is not going to win us a championship. What's going to win us a championship with a player like RJ is to build out the rest of the roster. And like the reason why I bring up that point with the Lakers is because even the Lakers to win a championship, they still needed more players. So here goes the roster. They have Paul Gasol, they have Kobe. Let me do this here. So Paul Gasol averaged 18, Kobe averaged 26, but they still needed Lamar Odom, they still needed Bynum. Even after this winning a championship, they still had to go get Ron Artest and stuff like that and like that.
And Kobe was threatening to leave too if he didn't trade for Pau Gasol. Yeah, they
That,
had
that was
to.
be that was before all the championships and stuff.
No,
You know. So I mean, no matter like even like I say like a team now who won the championship last year? It was Golden State.
Golden State.
Yeah, look at Golden State. They had Wiggins. They had the guy that you mentioned the top the young
Jordan
guy.
Poole.
Yeah, they had
Jordan Poole.
Poole. They still have Seth Curry. They still got Draymond Green. And they still got Klay Thompson. So
Clay
it's not
Thompson
just two
went off the
guys,
other. Clay
huh?
Thompson went off for like 40 yesterday.
Yeah. So I mean, you still need talent. You need talent on this roster. Like the top heavy stuff. Only talking about one guy. What's he doing for you? How are we building around him? To me, I think it's
Well,
small minded because what are we talking about? Are we talking about winning a championship, or are we just talking about whether
well,
whether one player looks good with another or something like that?
the thing is like I think we're looking. I mean, if I'm just I don't want to harp on nothing. I'm just bringing what's factual. Is according to the front office to answer your question. According to the front office, I think they're telling you. I think they told us we need the Kobe Bryant. We need the superstar. a star. So whatever they can get, you know, is the move. It's not even about. I don't even think they're even looking at role players. They're looking at whoever's a superstar. Um, Outside of Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, I think everybody's possibly available, just like last summer has said. So I think that's what's going on. I'm going off from the cards they shown me. I don't
Right.
even think they're looking at any. They're not looking for a bench player. They're looking for a star or a superstar.
But
And
do stars and superstars just grow on trees like that? Where would we get a superstar? Because superstars are not like 20 guys. 20 guys aren't superstars. When you talk about superstar, you're talking about like top 5 players in the NBA. Those are
well,
those.
what about a star? What about a star?
All right,
Because Donovan
star
Mitchell, is he a
star.
star now or a superstar? What do you think? What
Who's
is it?
that? Donovan
Donovan
Mitchell.
Mitchell. Yeah.
Well, Donovan Mitchell would have been that star player, but we missed out on that. That we probably won't get that opportunity again unless maybe Devin Booker becomes available or something like that. But
Right.
the question is, people don't value certain guys like Donovan Mitchell. Some people don't think that that he's worth it. If you mention Devin Booker to half of the Knicks fan base, they're gonna be like, "Get the fuck out of here, Devin
Well,
Booker."
we all know that they think that this guy. If we had a star, we wouldn't be talking about anybody else, would we? Right? Like if we had a star in our roster, we probably wouldn't be talking about Donovan Mitchell. We probably wouldn't be talking Devin Booker. Is what
Yeah.
so
Well,
it's the
if my
truth.
uncle had titties, he'll be my aunt too. So
But my point is like um it doesn't matter if people wouldn't go after Devin Booker. The front office wanted to go for Donovan Mitchell, not the Nick. The Nick fans were like, some of them were like, "Wow, RJ, wow," and
yeah.
it still could happen probably next summer that another player might become available and the Knicks might pull the trigger, and whoever they want, they're gonna give them that.
Right.
It still could happen.
But is that something that you want to do though? Sit and wait for somebody to come available every year? I know we have to we have
We
to keep
did the
the
draft route.
assets. Hmm?
We went the draft route. We went 17 and 65, and we didn't. It doesn't look like we have a star through the draft. So which route would you? It's pick your poison at this point, right? So it's either do you want to deal with trying to make Frank Ntilikina a superstar, or Kevin Knox is a superstar, and RJ is a superstar, or who else is well, that's it. That's all. That's all. That's the only three people that I probably pushed to people push that hell they're stars or super. They're going to be a star, superstar in this league. But if there were, we wouldn't be looking. The front office wouldn't. There wouldn't be such a thing as a Donovan Mitchell trade for R.J. Barrett or an Obi Toppin and Mitchell Robinson and all these other players and draft picks for him.
Well, we rewind even further, man. Kyrie and Durant. We were supposed to be clearing space for those two guys. They were supposed to be Knicks because all the talking heads were saying that there was done deal them coming to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't come. And then fast forward a couple years later, Donovan Mitchell was supposed to be a Knick. We wake up and he's a Cleveland Cavalier. You know what I'm saying? So nothing is guaranteed on either end. Drafting and going 17 forever, whatever you said, and then waiting every summer to get a star. We've been waiting on both ends and neither one has happened. You know what I'm
Hold on,
saying?
but Jalen Brunson, I gotta give credit. You gotta give credit to Leon Rose. He brought in an all star, a potential all star this season. Like
Right.
how much does that hold weight to you? Like how much do you value that? A all star point guard.
I get that. I get that. But I mean, you're talking about you were talking about the whole superstar thing, man. Because
Well, it doesn't
somebody
have to
at
be
the
a
caliber
superstar.
of
It could be a star. It could be a star
listen
too.
at the
Because
caliber of a Brunson, we can trade for somebody like that right now by the trade deadline.
nah, I don't think the Knicks are trying to trade Jalen Brunson or Julius Randle. You know who they almost traded last summer.
Yeah,
It
but
wasn't them.
I didn't say trading neither one of those guys. I'm saying because my thing is like, listen, we're trying to get better, man. So I'm not saying
Yeah,
that we
I
have to
know.
trade
I
Julius
follow.
and Brunson, our two best guys, to get another best guy. That's what I'm saying. But my thought process. That's why I'm talking. You asked me why I brought up the Lakers. I brought up the Lakers because even though they won a championship, they still went and got Meta World Peace there. So I mean,
Hmm.
teams that win championships still got to get better every year. You know what I'm
I
saying?
follow, but what I'm trying to say is that I think the front office is telling us we want to trade for another star. We
I know you.
almost did it last summer. We almost did it last summer. We almost had a Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell backcourt last summer. That's what the
Right.
front office was talking about. That wasn't me. I'm not pushing that. That's not something that I'm making up or something that I even was even on board with. But the front office is saying, bro, no, we want a star. Anybody who's a star who can help this team win, we're gonna pull the trigger. Plain and simple.
Well,
We don't want.
they
I don't
didn't
think
pull the trigger though. You know, they
that.
didn't pull the trigger.
No,
But
Danny Ainge didn't pull the trigger. Danny Ainge said no.
no, I think the Knicks said no. The Knicks were the ones that shut it down. That's when they signed
Not
RJ.
according to Rose. Not according to Rose.
Well, according to Rose, that's what happened. They signed RJ, and then that was the end of the deal. Once they signed RJ to the contract.
Well, Danny Ainge didn't call the Knicks back for RJ.
I mean, all that stuff, calling back stuff. Who knows if that shit is true too? Because they've been talking the whole summer, so they waiting for guys. What is this? WhatsApp? Like they're waiting for the next message. You know.
Ah, if Donovan Mitchell's there. I would think the Knicks are trying to, and this and they're floating this player Obi. They float. Look, Obi's name is on us on trade talks today, and
But
he was
listen,
almost traded last summer.
if I'm trying to get that hat, I want that hat you got on your head, right? How long is
Yeah.
it gonna take for us to negotiate for that hat? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Are we gonna negotiate for 2 months and then I'm never going to like mention something, into the, like, let's say
That you don't
if I
want
only.
like okay, like, oh, you want this hat? I want your 18 jersey. It could happen. Like, it's gonna. I get it. I sort of get
Yeah, but
your.
if you say you want the 18 jersey, I'm gonna say no, and then I'll hang up on you, you know, like that. And
Right.
then if you call back again, listen, I really want the hat. So listen, I got these Knicks pens. Do you want the Knicks pens? But anyway, I only got 12 things to give you. A mixture
Mm,
of 12 things. You got to pick it. I gave you exhausted every different scenario. If you don't like any of the scenarios I'm giving you, then that's it,
yeah.
right? It's not, oh, I'm waiting for him to call me back. Like, how long they were talking since the beginning of the offseason. They've been talking the whole summer. They exhausted it all the way to the end, to the point where other teams were held hostage because they were waiting for the Donovan Mitchell trade to go through. You know what I'm saying? So once it finally went through, then other trades started to change and stuff, move around and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they were talking all summer. They had the whole league on hostage. You know?
I don't know. Well, that from what I know and how I remember last summer, Danny Ainge turned down the Knicks. He went with Laura Markkinen, which Laura Markkinen deserves. He's actually having an amazing season. Shout out to him. He's looking like Danny Ainge is looking smart for so far this season. Half of the season, I think Danny Ainge is looking pretty smart. Like, even though Donovan Mitchell's having an MVP season, at least I can say Danny Ainge did not look bad trading for Lauren Markin. And he has plethora of draft picks for Rudy Gobert and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And he has Laurie Markkinen looking like somebody who's worth trading 3 first-round picks for.
Yeah. But okay, if you want to do that, to use that as an example, Utah, if this guy's looking smart, the Utah team, they made that trade, now they're rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? So what's their thought process now? Are they looking to get a superstar? Because they traded, quote unquote, a
But they
superstar.
won. What I meant to say is that they won that trade. I felt like if we would have they would have traded us with us the way RJ Barrett started, they would have felt like they lost that trade big time. Is what
Right.
I feel, and I don't like that. I don't like the fact that RJ Barrett doesn't look like somebody who other teams feel like. Thank goodness we dodged the bullet. Is what I'm trying to say.
I got you. You said that a few times. He ain't trying to say it. You said it like 40 times.
Well, I'm talking about Danny Ainge. It's like I mean, I have to give him credit. Like, if I'm Danny Ainge, like, you have to look at the situation like, I dodged the bullet. Thank goodness I did the right decision, and I shouldn't have called back the Knicks. To be honest,
So here's another thing too. How many reports were there that the Knicks, that the Utah Jazz were going to trade with Cleveland?
uh, no, I think there was a rumor, and then it turned out to be a no, and then it happened. I think Shams reported it once, right? Like,
He
it
might
was
have
one
mentioned
report,
it. He mentioned it in passing throughout the summer. At one
right?
point in the summer, he mentioned it in passing. but it was nothing, nothing. Then out of nowhere, the trade happens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, like the Knicks waiting for a phone call or stuff like that. That's why I'm trying to say that I think that whole scenario is bullshit. Because if you look at the trade, Utah, it wasn't just Laurie Marketing. They ended up getting a couple other guys too. They were decent players for them. That's helping them have that winning record that they have. They actually have a winning record. So there's a lot
Well,
of
look,
things going into that.
again, much credit to Leon. He signed Jalen Brunson. We got an all-star point guard. I'm happy about what he's done. I can't be mad at him. I can't be mad at even if I try to be mad at him about any situation, he can't I can't be mad at him. I
Right.
can't. Even if I wanted to, like, no. He tried to trade Mitchell Robinson, Obi, or this player, that player. I can't because he brought me an all-star point guard and we have an all-star candidate. This guy is helping the whole team.
Well,
The
let
whole
me ask you
offense
this
of the
then.
team looks good because of him.
All right, so let me ask you this: is your only concern with the Knicks just getting an All Star? Is that your only concern at the moment with the
I
Knicks?
think it holds weight. It
It
holds
holds weight.
weight.
It
It
holds
holds
weight
weight.
because
It's
it's not DJ.
important.
Somebody like DJ
You can't,
Benga. You know what I'm saying? He's nobody. Nobody's talking about him. So
bro. If you don't have Kobe Bryant, you at least need an all-star.
I got you, man. I got all that. But my thing is, I'm still keep trying to get you down this path. Like, how do we get better with this team? We,
How
we
do
we
we
know
get
what
better
you don't want
now?
to do. Yeah, how about we get better with this roster? I've
So
been trying to get you to
you
get
talking
there
about
for the longest
February? You
time.
talking about February? You talking
I'm
about
talking about I'm talking about today,
today?
2023. Your
I
opinion.
think the only thing we got is probably coaching. I mean, it's
So you
right
so you
now
think we
coaching.
can't make no trades? It's just about Tom Thibodeau coaching the guys and making them play better.
Unless a good player's name is thrown out there, man. Have you? I mean, we need a good name that can fit this team. Do we need a center? Do you want a new center, or do we need a starting shooting guard? Move. Okay, let's trade Fournier and Derrick Rose for. I don't know who's available. I mean, I
Well,
know that this guy.
listen. Aside from available, just use your like how the Knicks can get better. Like I brought you a couple different examples. I was gonna pull up Utah, but that's redundant. I brought up the Kobe thing. They made those trades and whatever. They need to get certain players in order to get there. They got the championship, but then they still made a move to get Artest on the roster because you have to continuously get better. Who's available? You don't know. Like, who knew that Artest would be on the Lakers? With Kobe. Who knew that he would have Paul Gasol? And who knew that Bynum was going to pan out? Who knew none of that shit? But one thing that we do know is the freaking roster that we have. We do know the roster. We do know how the Knicks play. And my only question to you is, right? How can the Knicks get better? What do you want to see? I know, saying that we need what, I need just like, what direction do you think this team should go in?
Hmm,
Yeah,
let
what
me.
type? I mean, I guess I could say it that way. What type of player do you like? Because you did mention, oh, do we need a center? Do we? That's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm
Oh, yes,
asking you.
you
Because
asking me?
yeah, because I like, if anything, like I can like pop
It's
you
so
off, and I can just give my opinion.
it's so difficult. It's such a difficult read, man.
Not really, man. It's just you're watching the game, and you can see what the Knicks are doing. You can say like, okay, well, I think the Knicks need this. I think this group would need this. That type of thing. Do you think we need to do whatever? And let's say, listen, I'm going to answer the question, right? My thing is, I think the Knicks need to double down on what we do well. We're good at playing defense. We need to get somebody in there to help out with that. We're good with rebounding the basketball. I think we need to get somebody out there to really solidify that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have bench scoring. We need somebody that can score. We need somebody else that can score on the thing there. Because I mean, having these guys play 35 minutes every single night, 42, 50, something, Julius had 50 in the Dallas game. What's the name? Deuce McBride had 43 that in the Dallas game. That's ridiculous. We should not be playing these guys all these minutes. So to me, the writing on the table means that we need another player. All-star play and all that shit, man. There is no that like all-star, all those titles that you put on me, that to me that kills the conversation, because now you're talking about all-star and this that. Oh, he was drafted here back in 2020. Listen, I mean, I'm just talking about like we just need something. We need a type of player. I didn't mention any names. It's like you could talk about the team without mentioning names. You could just say
The
we
thing,
need a player.
but Eero, the thing is that we have enough rotation players for me to talk about, like to bring to, for me to even bring it talk about a rotation player. I mean, I know Cam Reddish is on the way out because Tom Thibodeau feels that we have the same player. So I feel like they're looking for a different kind of player. I don't, do I know what kind of piece Tibbs needs right now? I don't.
What does Ralph need? Is what I'm asking.
Uh, Somebody who could defend and shoot and defend and shoot the three.
At what position? What position? What do you think we need the most help in?
I probably look. I probably if there's a player I'll probably be intrigued by. Probably be Miles Turner maybe because he can shoot the three. He can rebound. He's probably better than Hartenstein. Why spend 20 minutes on Fournier when I can probably have um or Derrick Rose for you know I'll probably consider Miles Turner. Like that's
So Miles
probably
Turner's
where
a
I would
center.
think.
So
Yeah.
so so you think we need to upgrade the center spot? I'm with it. I mean,
It was
if you
he could
listen, let's
play.
stay.
I
Yo,
think
this is
yes,
not
yes,
Twitter.
yes,
Yo,
yes,
Ralph, listen,
yes.
this is not Twitter. I'm not gonna freaking try to rape you just because
I
I'm asking you
know
a
it's not
question.
Twitter. I know it's not Twitter. I think that's probably today my best option. Right now, probably Miles Turner is possibly my best solution. That's just this week. Can it change down the line? Maybe. But right now, if I was to like think about a position that I can improve, that could help the Knicks, a center that can shoot the three would help this team, and he can rebound and he can block shots. I know that Mitchell Robinson did a nice post move against that other team. Great. Um, but Miles Turner has a lot of experience with shooting the ball, with blocking shots, with averaging over 15 points. That's another threat on the floor with Miles Turner. So that would be my situation. That would be my thinking. I don't know what the salary is, but if there's a position of need, Miles Turner will be an upgrade over Hartenstein, and 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 I started with that. I'll do that.
All right, so listen, you gave me somebody. So Miles Turner is somebody I could work with. Will he start? To me, it doesn't make a difference. Somebody said
Right.
3 and D, like we need a 3 and D kind of thing. So I mean, 3 and D. What's the name? Miles Turner is a 3 and D guy. Even though he's a center, he still plays the defense. He blocks shots. He can shoot the three. So I agree with that. We do need somebody, especially at the big man spot, to be able to shoot that three. I think he's good enough to play with Julius too by himself. I think he's good enough to play with Mitch. That's interesting. So I mean, that's something that interests me. So I mean, if we're gonna get him, you don't know the salary. Hey, guess what? I got the freaking shit on the screen, man.
Let
Jesus
me
Christ,
bring it.
I can put it on the screen for you if you need to know
So,
the salary.
yeah,
Look,
I thank you for your patience, Eru.
man, this is a podcast, man. I'm supposed to curse you out. I'm supposed to do that. You're supposed to tell me something. We're supposed to talk energy. Listen, you too busy worried about what like somebody gonna say no. Oh, I don't want to say the wrong thing, man. This is not
Nah, I
Twitter, man.
wasn't,
This
but
is
I
not
wasn't
Twitter.
even thinking. But I wasn't even thinking about because like I'm just following what the front office. I follow what Tibbs says. He doesn't like. He doesn't feel that we don't need Cam Reddish. So I'm thinking wing, but I can't think of a wing player right now. Like who we're gonna trade Cam Reddish for that's gonna give us anybody,
Right.
or like that's what I'm trying to figure out. Or for example, if we trade Evan Fournier and Cam Reddish for a shooting guard, who's gonna be that shooting guard that could start for us? Because we lost out on Donovan Mitchell, so that's another thinking that I'm like, I don't know, I don't have an answer for.
Well, listen, you have an answer. You gave me Miles Turner. Miles Turner makes $18 million. That's somebody that's attainable.
Yeah,
If somebody on a team like Indiana, what does Indiana need? They're a rebuilding team. They actually have a better record than us at the moment, man. They're ahead of us in the standings at the moment. I'm looking at on the side here. Their record is 21-17. We're 20-18 right now, so they're neck and neck with us. So they're probably thinking of how they're gonna get better. So if we trade them, let's say if we trade to try to get Miles Turner, they're probably gonna want a Hartenstein back. Hartenstein makes six. They might actually ask. I don't know what they would ask for though. To tell you the truth,
I would like Halliburton too.
I don't think they're gonna trade Halliburton though.
Okay, well but you asking me questions that I that's my answer. Like if there is
Well,
pressure
why
for
would you
me
want
to answer
Halliburton if we
questions
got Brunson though? Why would you want Halliburton if we got Brunson?
because I would like Halliburton at the 2.
Okay, fair enough. But
Halliburton at the 2 wouldn't be. I don't think would be. I don't think he would be bad.
I got it. But at the same time, too, I just said the Indiana Pacers have a better record than us, so I don't think they're going to trade their potential All Star point guard. He could be an All Star for them. Potential All Star point guard to the Knicks just because we asked for him. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right. Now, what about Buddy Hield? What do you feel about Buddy Hield from Indiana?
I like Buddy Hield, but I mean, Buddy Hield's going to require something. So I mean, it is the question: is
Okay,
does he?
so
Mhm.
Cam Reddish, I'll give him Cam Reddish and Fournier for Buddy Hield
That
and a
makes sense.
draft pick. How about that?
That makes sense. That same trade works for Miles Turner too, because both of those guys make about the same money. I think Buddy might make a little bit more, but I mean, anyway, it's a movable deal. So
Right,
that something like that could happen. And then
right.
also
If we
Indiana.
can,
Mhm.
no. If I, it's either Buddy Hield or Miles Turner for me. Like that's my answer today. I like those two. I think they can help the team. Buddy Hield, he's he can shoot the ball. He's a shooter. So
Right.
this I think he can improve defensively. I also think that he helps with the floor spacing, and he's just a way better version of. I would think he would be than Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes can learn a lot from Buddy Hield.
I agree with
In
that.
terms
A
of
lot, a
shooting
lot
the
of fans
ball.
don't though. I agree with you about that. Because this guy Ben Mathurin, and they also got Duarte too. So they already have guys that could fill in that spot for Buddy Hield. So I think Buddy Hield could be had. If looking at the salary, Buddy Hield makes 21 million this year, so 21 and 18 between Miles Turner and him. Those are two guys that we can snatch off of Indiana's roster if they were motivated to trade them. You know,
Yeah, both of them are either or, right?
yeah. Because one thing about Indiana also, they got this guy Goga. But I can't
Yeah, I
pronounce his
drafted
last
him.
name.
I drafted
Yeah,
him in my fantasy league.
yeah. So he's a decent player. And when he
Yeah,
when he gets starting minutes, he can produce. So that
yeah.
means that the Indiana probably would trade Miles Turner. I mean, so listen, man. You brought up that guy. I actually agree with what you said. I'm just waiting to pull something off you. So I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of double down on what we do well. So and also Miles Turner, if you give him the ball, he can actually try to score on the inside. Aside from shooting the three, and then we
Yeah.
get better defensively because a lot of people don't seem to like what our guy Isaiah Hardenstein is doing. So there's definitely an upgrade. It upgrades the roster. It's very
So
subtly. Mhm.
who you think Obi's going to be traded for? Because Obi was considered rumored to be traded to the Pacers.
So there you go. So I mean, there goes the thing. So it could be Obi. I mean, it could be Obi and say Hartenstein. Obi and Hartenstein for
For
Miles
Turner,
Turner. Yeah,
I'll do that.
you would do that. I
I'll
would. I
do
think
that.
I would do it too.
To reply to Mighty Finesse, yes, I like Mathurin. Mathurin is a tremendous. He's a tremendous athlete. He's a tremendous athlete. I like his game. Tough, athletic, great player. Shout out to Ben Mathurin. If he's available, sure, but I just don't think he's available.
Yeah, me either. Obi Toppin from a third. How? Obi Toppin hasn't had any season close to what Mathurin's having right now.
Yeah.
So it
I
could be out there. I don't know.
also he's saying that he's okay, Obi and picks for Mathurin.
I don't know.
I'll trade for him. Well, listen, if we could get him, I'll get him.
Yeah, if we
Either
can get
Ben
Mathurin.
Mathurin
Mhm.
or Buddy Hield or Miles Turner. So it took me forever to get here, but I'm here.
You crazy, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. You are bugged out. If I'm saying you're bugged out, man, it's not because of your takes or whatever. Look how long it took you to get your fucking audio together at the beginning of this pod, man.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I'm
no, like,
saying?
don't worry.
Like your
We're gonna
camera.
discuss
I'm
that.
giving you suggestions. You're ignoring my suggestions. It's like you are bugged out, man. But that's the reason why I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the line out of you. You too busy worried about what people gonna say. Like nobody. Like if somebody got
No,
something to say, fuck
not
them.
this one. Today, I wasn't. I don't think I was concerned what people were going to say. I was just. You told me about how would I improve the roster, and that's just like an ocean to me. So I
No, it's
couldn't.
not, man. Listen, we are content creators. Listen, I don't know about you, but I'm a fucking content creator.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yes, I
saying? So
am. Me too
know what a
myself.
content creator does? We create content. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So if I ask
I
you a
follow. I
question, if
follow.
you ask me a
Uh,
question, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't know. That's a big question for me. Then what the fuck are we doing? This is
that's
content creating, bro.
that's
You get what I'm saying?
that's a good point. I didn't think about it like that, but now that you
If
say it
you're
like
not
that,
thinking about that as a content creator, then what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are we doing? You get what I'm saying? Don't get offended at how I'm coming at you, but it's
no,
dead
no, I kind
ass.
of follow.
Like,
You know, because I didn't even. Yo, I'm gonna front like I was not even thinking. All I do is just like I look at my yo. All I know is that the way I look at it, my eyes is like yo, B. All I know, RJ was almost traded last summer. I'm like, is he gonna be traded next summer? Because it's not like he gave himself any legs. That's what I'm focusing on.
yo,
And then
Amadi Finesse says, stop worrying about what people say. You know what I say to Amadi Finesse? Man, fuck you, Amadi Finesse. You know what I'm saying? Amadi Finesse is my guy there, but you know, it is what it
but
is. You know
but
what I'm trying
but
to say?
but 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 honestly, to keep it in perspective, right? I'm really focused on like who's going to be traded next summer. That's what I'm on. Like I wasn't even thinking about a trade this February because it's like there's so little rumbling. Like you know what I mean? It's like man, who's okay? Maybe we trade Cam Reddish. Maybe we trade Obi for who? I don't know. But like now, I'm just gonna now if he gets traded to Indiana, I'm just gonna just work with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but things happen. Like that's why I brought up the fact that Utah came out of nowhere and made the trade with Cleveland. It's not like they were talking about that. It wasn't no big deal. Or Utah got a good deal
Oh, that's a good
for
point. At least there was at least Shams. I think Shams reported it once.
But
So at
listen,
least
like there's been little reports here, you know, on the internet the last few months. There's been reports, you know what I'm saying? It's not
yeah,
like
yeah, that's
nothing's
true.
happening. There's been little reports there on the all over the
You
internet.
think Obi gets traded this? I think he might get traded by
I hope he
February.
gets traded because he's useless to us. To me, Obi is useless to us because when it comes to defense and rebounding and like being physical, how does Obi Toppin help out with that? You know, Obi Toppin doesn't help out with that. You know, and we already
Mm,
drew the line in the sand. RJ is our guy, and we drew the line in the sand with Quentin Grimes. Those are our two guys there. You know, if anything, we could use a small forward. Obi Toppin to me is more of a small forward. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, to use him as a power forward and that type of thing, you know that he does not serve us well that way. Like, but you mentioned Miles Turner. Miles Turner, even though he's not a big perimeter guy and stuff like that, but he can post up. He can shoot the three. You know, the guy
mm-hmm,
can run the floor. He could pass and stuff like that. Not
mm-hmm.
particularly at an all-star level like that, but he's good enough to be an NBA starter, servable for us. You know, to help us
Right.
do what we do well. You know, that's where I'm at with it. You know,
I really like the 3 point shooting from him. It's the 3 point shooting for me for him. It's like oh stop because if you know the Knicks like every game I watch them they're taking they're always taking more 3 pointers than the opposing team quarter per quarter.
right.
They're always doing that. So I was like, okay, so that's somebody that can help.
Right. Yeah, definitely, man. So I mean, we definitely got an idea there with Indiana. We smoke this fire because they keep talking about Indiana, especially recently. And Obi Toppin is rumored to come back. They said that he's I think he's questionable now. You know, to come back. He's got upgraded from out to questionable or something like that.
Who's
So
this?
we
Who's
might
this?
that's Obi Toppin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we might get our answer soon because I mean, you know, guys like let's say Zach Levine, he can't be traded till January 15th. So I'm thinking if anything is gonna happen with that guy or whatever, I think nothing's really gonna happen until probably after January 15th or close to it, you know, close to January 15th. So, you know, that's gonna be the big topic of conversation before that date. You know what I'm saying? So let me see something here. Let's I'm gonna get into the next few games for the Knicks, right? So
Yeah, just so you feel like the Knicks are gonna make a trade this season?
I hope so. I'm banking on that. I'm actually hoping that they make a trade.
Mm,
You know, that's where I'm at because I feel like it's nice to keep talking about the you know it's nice to believe in your team. You know that's where I'm at.
right.
I'm it's nice to believe in your team, but it's like you squeezing water out of a brick. You know, you're not gonna get water out of a brick. That's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
it's like, oh man, this guy Julius Randle don't play defense. Duh. You know, like RJ,
mm,
man, I'm so mad at him. He can't make a layup. Duh. Spoiler alert, he can't make layups. Emmanuel quickly is erratic. Spoiler
I,
alert.
you know, I have concerns about trading Cam Reddish.
Mm.
Like, part of me has this in my back of my mind. I don't know if like there's many people who think like this, but I feel like if Cam Reddish gets traded, like I have concerns if RJ might be in that deal too. Like if
Both Cam Reddish and RJ.
I would, it's just I don't. I might be alone. Like I, it, I have that fear in my mind, the back of my mind, like there's a possibility that the front office will consider trading if they trade Cam, that they might even include RJ in that deal. You know what I mean? Like
If they getting Cam and RJ though, that's got to be a hell of a
that's a lot.
trade
Yeah, I
regime.
know, but like for Zach Levine, not saying that I want to do that or that's even that. I just feel like whoever it is, like if Cam gets traded, like that's RJ's boy since Duke. Like RJ might want out with like a situation might like the front office might consider even throwing RJ in that deal or what. I'm that's just it's just me. So sometimes I don't even think about trading Cam like that because I'm like, yo, man, RJ might want to stick together with Cam, man. You never know. They might want to stick together, or hope. But I hope RJ stays. And I bust his chops and everything. But um, I have that in the back of my mind. Like, what if Cam gets traded and he's not traded alone, and he gets traded with RJ? That crosses my mind.
When you cross your mind, are you thinking about them in the shower, taking a shower together too? You thinking about that too? Because I mean, like, my thing is, if we trade in RJ and Cam together, those are two good rotational players, man. So that means that we're gonna get a haul back. So
Mhm.
I'm not concerned. Like the main thing, I mean, Zach Levine, that would be a bad decision. Trading
I'm
RJ
just
and
saying.
Cam for Zach Levine, that's a bad because it doesn't really necessarily help us too much. I mean, it might balance things out, but I mean, it messes everything else up. Then we're gonna have to make a secondary trade to get somebody else out. You know what I'm trying to say? To
All right.
it's just too much movement. So I mean, but like I said, but this is we're just hypothetically talking
That's
here. So
hypothetical. Just a
yeah,
hypothetical. Just yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I
But
mean,
other than that,
yeah, this fucking guy. Yeah, Jarrell said he said if Cam is traded, I don't think RJ will give a single damn, man. I agree
okay.
with that too.
Hopefully you're right. Hopefully you're right, Jerome.
But how
Shout
about
out to
that? How about
Jerome.
that? This makes sense. Survey 100 people. If Cam and Reddish excuse me, Cam and RJ get traded and they get traded for Ingram, Brandon Ingram, I would be like goodbye, see ya. You know,
Ingram is nice. Ingram is nice.
yeah. And Ingram doubles down on what we're trying to do defensively. He could rebound well, good passer,
Yeah.
finish.
He can shoot pass. He's like a Cam Reddish, but times 5 or times 10, right?
Yeah, he's what RJ and Cam Reddish are supposed to be right now. Like he was saying that, oh man, we drafted RJ in the third, and he should be this. The should be this is Brandon Ingram. That's what they should be right
Mm.
now. But Brandon Ingram is already Brandon Ingram. So I mean, that would be dope. And if you want to talk about taking showers and stuff like that, RJ and Cam, like, they get to take showers with Zion now. And I
Not
think
yet,
Zion will be so much, especially with it, because I think he hurt his hamstring. So now
right?
that he has a hurt hamstring, him and Cam Reddish and RJ can take showers together and rub each other up, and make
Yeah.
each other feel good over there in the Pelicans. You know what I'm saying? So
I
it
can't
fits
keep up
perfect.
with you. I can't keep up with you with this.
This fucking guy. Oh no, no, no. I thought that was State, but this is somebody else here. I think you know who
Hey,
this is.
what's going on? What's going on?
What's good,
Yo,
man?
what's good?
Good. What's going on, Raph? Nice seeing, man. Nice to meet you,
Likewise,
there, Hard.
man.
This is a surprise, man. This is the first time I ever spoke to you, man. You usually on Hard Will in them shows for the love of the game. I saw you there a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
We're doing fine, doing fine. How about everything with you guys?
Yeah, we doing good,
Good,
man.
good, good.
Doing good. So it's a
That's good.
surprise, man. So you been paying attention what we've been saying and stuff.
Yeah, I've been hearing what you're saying. You're saying that the team's been playing great. The team's been playing the last 2 games, I should say, they've been playing great defense. They're moving the ball better. Their switching's been improving. Julius Randle, man, it's been a Randle rampage to this point. His mid range has been fun, especially the pinch balls. His 3 ball has been red hot. Quinn Grimes, salute Pudge Nights. Quinn Grimes, his defense has been underrated. His 3-point shooting has been swishing. IQ, Man, Eichel showed a lot of intelligence this season, though. Knowing the way to take the right shots, his defense has improved. This team's gonna be scary. And also Jalen Brunson, he did not skip a beat. I know he missed 5 free throws against Phoenix, but his jumper, wet like water, can finish at the rim, underrated passer. If they can get healthy and just being consistent, it'll be very, very tough.
Yeah, absolutely. You see what I'm trying to say here, Mr. Ralph? My man just came off the street. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker just
Well
came off the
said, man.
street. He came on in here.
Congratulations.
He said blah 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 with the bars on your ass, man. You see that shit?
That's it, man. You know, sometimes I got them, sometimes I don't. But hey, I gotta give credit. That was well said. Man,
You go by G Hoffa, right?
Well, my name's Gideon, but people call me G Money.
G Money. Okay. Cool.
right. That's what I'm trying to get to. Like G Money.
Yeah. So G Money, man. So
well said, man.
right now we're talking about how we can improve the team. So let me ask you that. Like, what do you think the Knicks direction they should go and how they should improve this? What we're doing.
Personally, I think they may need to. I like Cam Reddish, but I think Cam Reddish is gone. They may need to get rid of Cam Reddish. I would consider trade Evan Fournier and maybe get another small forward in return. I also heard that the Knicks might trade Obi Toppin to the Pacers for like Chris Duarte or Nemhard. Would you guys consider that trade?
You know, I think I would because I mean I'm looking at Obi Toppin.
Nah.
You want to do it, Ralph? I'm looking at Obi Toppin as a small forward. That's all I see when I see him. You know, so if he you know he's our best 3-point shooter up until this point, or one of our best. You know, so he's providing that type of game for us. So if we're asking him to shoot the 3 and we're asking him to do that type of role, then why not get a guy that's more inclined to do that role? Somebody that's a true small forward, true, you know, kind of swingman kind of wing thing. So you know, I would be down for that. You know, I would be down for it.
So hold up. For Nemhard is that rookie point guard, right? From the Pacers.
Rookie point guard, Santos is going to be shooting guard. Yeah.
And who? Anybody else or no?
What about this player? This is from the Pelicans. What about Trey Murphy? The guy can shoot threes long and finish. Would you want Trey Murphy?
No.
Well, you know, Trey Murphy's been playing really well for them over there in the Pelicans. With Brandon Ingram gone, he's been holding them down.
He's been big time.
Yeah, big time, man. He's playing really well over there. Some of the guys mentioned Brandon Ingram. He hasn't been playing because he's been hurt, but you know, they got Zion there. And like we just mentioned too, I like to joke around. So I was saying that, you know, Cam Reddish and RJ taking showers with Zion. I think they would love that over there.
Big time facts. Mount Zion has been just jaw dropping for the Pelicans. Sadly, he's gonna be out 3 weeks due to the fact that his goddamn hammy just blew out. So he's gonna be out 3 weeks. But Mount Zion, he's been punishing the rim. His finishing has been exquisite. He's a great underrated rebounder. He's just been phenomenal for the Pelicans. And if he can come back healthy, he should be an all-star. But what about this trade? I know this trade probably won't happen, but think about it. Would you consider trading for Brandon Ingram if he gets healthy?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Brandon Ingram, say like for RJ and Cam.
Yeah,
Absolutely, right? I think that's perfect. I think, you know, the guys were saying that in the chat. You know, I think that's pretty perfect right there for both teams, especially now that Zion is hurt. Getting the extra man, getting Cam Reddish in there, and RJ as well in the mix. I think that will help them out until Zion can get healthy. You know, because those guys are ready to play now, rather than Brandon Ingram that's still hurt. You know.
What about Zach LaVine, the Bull? What do you think about Zach LaVine, Fat Zach?
I don't know about him. You know, what do you? Well, for me, it's a salary. What do you think, Ralph?
I'll play bad cop over here. Why not? He's a great player. He's been averaging 25 points for the season. Very efficient, athletic. Why would I turn down trading for Zach LaVine? $40 million. So let me get this right. So he's basically
he makes 37.
He's a combination of Derrick Rose salary and Evan Fournier's salary, and I'm going to turn down Zach LaVine. Why would I turn him down?
Yeah.
Well, would you do that though? I mean, would the Bulls do that? They just
I'm
trade
gonna
the
be
salary?
bad cop. I'm bad cop in this situation. You can be good cop and not trade for him. He's a good player. He'll help this team. I think trading for Zach LaVine would help the Knicks right now much more than Probably another idea that anybody can come up with. So why would I turn that down?
Well, the important thing though with that is that we can't like it would be a good trade if we're not trading any of our key guys. Like
Mhm.
if we don't trade Julius, RJ, and Brunson, and then we add Zach Levine to that, then that's
Mhm.
fantastic. But that will require probably a lot of picks and stuff like that.
So you're
Mhm.
saying if it's RJ and Cam, you wouldn't do that. RJ, Cam, and Fournier, you wouldn't do that deal. Or let's just say it's RJ, Cam, Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier for Zach Levine and Kobe White. You wouldn't do that deal?
I don't know if Chicago would do that. I'm not
No,
too
like
sure about that.
no, but it's just like you said, like we're making stuff up. Like if you could get Kobe White and you can get Zach Levine for those four players we gave up, would you do it or would you say no?
I mean, I
And
don't know.
first of all, would it help the team? First of all, will it help the team?
Well, it still keeps us in the same position because I think we still would need to
Same
make another
position.
move to get another guy.
Right,
You know.
right,
I
right,
don't
and
know.
also right. And I'm sorry for interrupting. Even Mighty Finesse said the players he's looking at is OG, Bi, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Jerry Vanderbilt, Jaden McDaniels. What about OG and Anobi? Would you consider trading for him?
Uh, same scenario. Like I wouldn't give any key player for him. If he was available, I definitely would trade for him.
Okay.
I think he would be ideal too because Ralph was talking about Miles Turner.
Yeah.
So Miles Turner, off the bench, he would provide something similar to what OG would provide,
True.
offensively,
True. True.
defensively, just from a different position. So
Yep.
I just think it's more like reinforcements. The Knicks need
Mhm.
reinforcements. That's what the squad needs right now. And if we get our reinforcements, no matter how we get it, like I said, just as long as we don't trade any of our key guys, then I think that's the move to make.
Mhm.
You know,
Right. Right.
I got one guy here, man. He kind of I'm been trying to show him some love here. This is my guy Luis Balletta,
Mhm.
actor. Does all kind of stuff here, man. But he does Knicks podcast. He haven't done it in a while, but I just want to show him some love here. He brought up Trey Young, man. Would you guys trade for Trey Young? You think that's a
But
possibility?
I mean,
but Julius
possibility,
Randle,
yes. Reality, no. Is it a possibility? Sure, it could happen. I just don't think it will.
Yeah.
well,
No.
Julius Randle's a key guy, so he shouldn't even be in that deal.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people hate Julius Randle. I know Luis hates Julius Randle. He wants to fist fight him because he has experience with the Life Fitness because I believe I think he lives in the building actually. He lives in the Life
Right.
Fitness building, so he got a chance to meet Julius and just be around him. And he's definitely not his type of guy. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Oh,
So
for real?
yeah, so
Well, that's
I get
news
it.
to me.
Yeah, I get it. Just the way that he is. His attitude and stuff like that. He's just not his type of guy. So he just wants him off the team. That type of thing. That's where he's coming from with that.
Well, so he's not. He wasn't.
Mhm.
He's not cool. He's not chill. He's
I don't know. He's just like some people like Luis and most fans they remember the '90s, so they hold that era close to their heart. So they want
mhm.
that style, they want that energy, and Luis doesn't think that Julius has that. A lot of people don't though. But
But he
like
met
I'm
him in
trying to
person and what? Like it was a bad interaction.
no, just his mannerism, just the way that he interacts with. But I mean, whatever he said is just like what we see on the court sometimes when he loses his temper. But Julius definitely has killed
I
that
don't
this
think he
year.
has a temper. It's more of an attitude. I don't think he
Yeah,
has a temper. It's more of an attitude.
yeah, you're right about that. I agree with that definitely.
Mhm.
But sometimes that attitude, especially with a star player, like if they have that attitude is what makes them the star. You
True.
know,
True. True.
that's their
Yeah.
energy. So
Yep.
you gotta play the good with the bad with that type of stuff.
Hmm.
That's surprising to me. I got the impression he was cool.
Yeah, I mean it's a whole different thing when that ball, ball is bouncing around. Stuff. Everybody's energy gets crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anything else you got for me? G Money. I definitely appreciate you coming in here, man. Because
Thank you.
listen,
Thank you.
my man Raph here, I've been cursing him out half of the podcast and stuff like that. But then you come off the bench and well, listen, somebody called you a veteran. You are a veteran.
Thank you.
I see
Thank
you.
you.
I know who you are. I seen you on thing. I never had a chance to be on the show with you, man. So I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying. I did put the thing in the chat. I usually fly solo or have like one person in it, but I appreciate you coming on here, man. Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Nice to see you again. I mean, it's been a jaw dropping stream. And thank you. It's nice seeing you, diehard Hero. Nice seeing you again, Raph. Nice to see you, all you cool cats at the chat. Just absolutely phenomenal. Just great. And salute Vinny Vega. Salute Push. Salute I am Gerald. Salute everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because when I bring debates and bring my opinions, I gotta bring facts to what I say. I can't just talk for the sake of talk. I gotta bring facts and logic into what I say when I speak my mind. So that's what we all have to do, So that's what we all need to do. And one more thing too, people keep saying fire Tiz, fire Tiz. I'm not on that trade. I was never on. I'm not on that trade. I was not on that trade. Oh, we should fire Tiz. I understand Tiz can be stubborn sometimes, but he has to make the proper adjustments. And no, I don't want to tank. Almighty, that's a false narrative. I don't want to tank. I want to win games though. Tanking's for losers, man.
Yeah,
Tank is for losers. I don't want to tank, man. Because tanking doesn't solve wounds, though. We've been tanking it. We've been going down the dumps. We've been going to the abyss for years. Yes, are we going to win a championship this season? No, but you want to try to get yourself to the playoffs and bring glory back to the city, though. I don't want to tank and lose games on purpose, though. I mean, look, Philly been tanking. They've been down the dumps. Minnesota's tanking. They've been a dumpster fire. I mean, there's a whole lot. Sacramento, they're playing good this year, but they've been tanking and tanking and tanking, and then they've been in the sewer forever. So I don't like to tank. I try to. We're not gonna win every game, but I don't want to tank.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like to use what do you call, like, real life situations, right? So let's say if you're from the hood, right? You can't blame the hood a reason why your misfortunes. What I'm saying? I'm
Right.
from the hood too, so I mean, I went on my path, and I'm quote unquote successful. I'm not on that thing where I have to get out the hood, or I'm from this neighborhood, so we don't have no opportunity. No, that's you. You have that mentality. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with the tanking thing. If you're always talking about tanking, oh man, we need to do this. Oh, what are we gonna do? We have no star. We got to do it. Like you have like a hopeless mentality. Like you're not forward thinking. Everything is in a hopeless situation. So I can never take that stance in anything, man.
I don't respect tanking. I just don't
Yeah.
respect that. It's unacceptable.
Yeah, right. It's just straight like that. I just don't accept it. It's not a part of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. So I mean, a good pod, man. I'm glad you came in here. You know what I'm saying. You're welcome to come back, man. I know. What's the name? Jarrell said that just now, but that's a fact right there. It would be nice for you to
You
come
can
back.
call me G Money. You can call me G
G-Money?
Money.
Okay, cool. So G Money, man, definitely would like to have you come back. Maybe you can come on here and spank Ralph sometimes on a Tuesday.
Nah, he'll probably agree. I mean, I don't know how he feels about. Well, I'm not gonna bring it up no more, but like, that's what it is. We had a couple of conversations about RJ, and I got hot. I got hot about it. Like I was like, "Yo, listen."
He's talking about 2019 RJ. That's what he was getting hot about.
No,
Right.
not 2019. This season, 20 games.
No, but you were hyped up about him being a top 3 pick and how he's not this, how he's not that. You know what I'm saying?
Been proven. Yeah, top 3 pick on year 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I
top
agree
3
with
pick
it.
on year 4.
Streakier than a phone book sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, year 4 player on year 3. I mean, number 3 pick on year 4 is probably somebody who everybody's wish they had on their roster.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, time goes by. It is what it is, and we have to move forward. So you can't keep harshing on the past like that.
Mm-hmm.
But so I kept pushing back about that the front office almost traded RJ for a star in Donovan Mitchell, and I feel like it's either I feel like the pressure is either trade for a star. I feel like the front office is either going to trade for a star no matter what. Like if there's a star right now, I think they're not going. I don't think they're going to change their approach. I think they're still going to consider trading Mitch, OB, RJ, and do what it takes to get a star because that's you win with stars.
It's true.
You can't so it took me a while to level down, but that's basically my argument to
but that's everybody's argument. Everybody needs a star.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the thing is where's a star? It's like you have to wait for it to pop out. It's like Starlight, Star Bright. First star I see tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Zach Levine's a star. Zach Levine
yeah.
is a star. Technically, Zach Levine could be considered a star.
Right.
Almost a star. He's almost a star. I think So that's why I pushed back that argument, even though you don't like his. He's getting paid like a star, $40 million. You're not a star. He's a star. I think he's close to a star. Um, so that's why I said, why wouldn't you? Why would not? Why would I not consider? Why would I say no to Levine if he can help this team win? He's athletic. He can dunk. He
Mhm.
can. Sometimes he had seasons where he shot 50% from the field. I want to help this team win. Why would I turn down Zach Levine? Who in this roster is better than Zach Levine?
Well,
I
what do you
don't.
think about these guys? You got Zach, you got Devin Booker, and Cat. Cat is hurt right now. He's a guy that they probably would throw him to the wolves if you give a good enough
Yeah,
package
but
to. So,
but
what do you
all
think about
three
Cat?
we should consider all three because they all would help the team win.
But to get all three, you have to literally throw a grenade
You have to
down the
blow.
hallway.
You
No,
have
no,
to throw a hand grenade, man. You have to blow
not
up your
all
whole
three,
team.
not all three. Just anybody, any of the three, should be considered. Should be a yeah. Why not? I
I
think
love that, but D-Book ain't leaving Phoenix. You also have to be. You have to be a little realistic. D-Book ain't leaving the Valley of the Sun. Zach and Cat I can understand, but D-Book ain't gonna flee from the Valley of the Sun. I don't see it.
would you trade for Zach or no?
I would consider. I will at least consider it. I'll think about it. I will consider.
Yeah, I need
Well,
to
why
take a
would
nap
you
on
say
that one.
no? Is my question.
Excuse me.
Why would you say no to Zach Levine?
Because my only concern with Zach Levine, even though he's a great talented player, my only concern, I don't want to assume things, but you need to consider this. One, he's injury prone, and two, the fact that even though he's a great talent, he can shoot, he can finish, but also he's not a great defender. That's the two things that would stop me from getting Zach Levine. But however, I would consider trade for him because he can score, he can finish at the rim. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I
same here.
mean, Raf?
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's if it helps the team win. I think Zach Levine. I have to say, yeah, I'm pulling the trigger. If I'm trying to help the team win right today, I'm thinking that he would help the team win.
Possibly.
I think we
Yeah.
could. I think with Tom Thibodeau's defense, he would be just fine.
That's true. He did ball out with tips. Yeah.
Yeah. Tibbs helped awaken him also too when he was there in Minnesota. Even though he did trade him because he was the GM and the coach, he did trade him, but he did help awaken his career there. He set him on that
Mhm.
path.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think he will welcome it too. If anything, Tom Thibodeau will welcome Zach Levine here. But at the same time, too, like when we're talking about, I think he makes like 30 something million right now, whatever. So you're gonna have to put a package together. So whatever that package is, if it's like I said, that's my theory with all these guys. If we can make a trade without giving up so many of our key guys and stuff like that,
Yeah, he's
because
making 37 million. Yeah.
yeah, 37 million is a lot, So if we're giving up too much of our main guys, then it's all right. But I mean, if we trade in Fournier and Rose and say Hartenstein or something stupid like that, but then throwing down like a whole bunch of picks, then it's like, okay, let's go for now we're going for it. But the key
Mhm.
is not to get rid of Julius in this trade, not to get rid of RJ in that trade or Brunson.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If we do that, then it's like let's go for it. Then it doesn't matter
Mhm.
who the other guys are. We make those moves. We try to get whoever is available to fill out the roster, and then we go. We just going for it at that point. I would
Mhm.
I would be down with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. What's your prediction for the month of January for this team? For the month of January, just this month.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me get this up here. I was before you came on it. That's what I was gonna get at. What was the prediction for the next few games? So I
Yeah.
mean, right now the look at these next 4 games. I think we can sweep these 4 games here.
I mean, of course we can. Do I think we will? Of course, any team can win a given night. I think they'll beat the Spurs.
Mhm.
I have a weird feeling we lose in Toronto. I don't think we beat Milwaukee. I think we'll beat Indiana. Call me crazy. I have a weird feeling we might lose in DC. I think we'll beat Detroit. I think we'll get Toronto this time. Beat Washington. I know Atlanta's playing like donkey trash right now, and I understand that, but something tells me that Ice Stray may freeze up the Knickerbockers and DeJounte Murray might have a big game. I think we might lose that. The Raptors at home on the road, we might lose that. Cavs, I'm 50-50 on this game. I'm 50-50 on this game because I know the Cavs are a great defensive team, but they're not good on the road, though.
Right.
And the Knicks have been mediocre at home. I'm 50-50. We're not going to beat Boston. I don't think we'll beat Brooklyn. And then you got the bumbling, crumbling, trash Los Angeles Lakers, or as I call them, the bum assless Breakers. I think we'll beat the Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only game I'm not certain is the Cavs at home because because like I said, Cleveland's a great defensive team as far as guarding the paint and they guard the perimeter, but they're not a good road team though. That's my concern. But New York is not a good home team. But New York is a good road team. But I just think Boston's great at home. Brooklyn is boiling hot right now. 12 straight wins. The only legit wins I see is the Wizards at home, the Lakers, the Pistons, the Raptors at home, and the Spurs and the Pacers. That's only like legit wins I see.
So it's close to 500.
Around that. So I say we either go 25 and 27 or 26 and 26 going into February. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with that too. The thing with the Knicks, man, we can lose any game and we can win any game. That's how crazy the Knicks are.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But that's why we watch the games. You know, what do you think about any of this stuff, Ralph?
No, that's a good point. Like we still probably be 2 games, or maybe we'll probably be 500 by the end of January.
Yeah. Some of these games you got to be realistic. Of course, any team can win in a given night. I mean, geez, OKC just rained a thunderstorm on Boston, $150 on Boston though. Like any team has a chance. That's why you tip the ball up in the air, and who knows. But my only concern with this Knicks team is this though. I mean, my only thing is this: they're a great defensive team as far as guarding the perimeter. Well, I can't as far as last week's guarding the perimeter. My only concern with some of these games is that if we had to go to Toronto, I feel it might be a Fred VanVleet type game though, or a Scotty Barnes, because we struggle in Toronto. I'm not concerned about the Spurs. I know we dealt with the Texas whip at the Alamo, but the Spurs are just not a good team. So I think we'll win that. The Bucks, they kill us with length and size and quickness. So that's my concern. I think we'll get the Pacers at home because if the game is close, I trust the Knicks because the Knicks have a closer in Jalen Brunson. The Pacers they have a good night talent, but other than Halliburton, I don't think they have a closer like that. Other than Indiana's had a great year, but I just think that and Indiana's not a good road team, so I think we'll get them there. I don't need to concern about the Pistons. They're booty juice. We'll kill the Pistons. But my only concern is that teams like Boston, Brooklyn, Cleveland, all these teams can shoot the 3 ball, and Milwaukee too. And Toronto's not a great 3-point shooting team, but that's my concern for some of these games.
Yeah, Toronto has our number. We played them a couple times this month. That Wizards game, we better win Wizards, man, because I'm gonna be at that game. I'm gonna be in DC watching that game live, man. So they better win on the 13th. That's
no, I don't have any parlays on. I don't do any parlays on YouTube. No. But I do have my own YouTube channel called The Last Laugh Podcast. So subscribe to my channel, The Last Laugh Podcast.
The Last Laugh Podcast, okay. Is that a sports-related podcast?
Yeah, it's a sports-related, yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's the last. Well, I wish I would have had it up. You want me to put it up here before we get out of here, or if you got a link ready?
I can just send you the private chat.
I just want to say that
put it in the regular chat so guys can find you.
Oh, regular chat? Okay.
Yeah, stick it in the regular chat.
Alrighty.
Yeah, man.
The only thing that concerns me this month is the Knicks. I mean, it's just I don't think the opposing teams are intimidate me or concern me. It's all about how we're going into that game. Like like Argus laceration,
I'm sorry.
Injuries. Is Quentin Grimes on fire, or is he cold right now? That it's the momentum of the team that concerns me more than playing against the Bucks again. Like I'm like that, I already know who the Bucks are, but who are we now? Like in 2023, like are we on a cold streak, or are we in a hot streak, or So Emmanuel Quickly's hot, so that's good to hear. That's fun to it's good to see him ball, but is it enough? That's why it's hard for me to get a read on this team, and when we started the season, Isaiah Hartenstein was a very good playmaker. He could shoot the 3, but right now it seems like like I would trade him if somebody called. I'm taking that. If somebody calls for him, I'm taking that phone call. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's the way I'm looking at the Knicks. I'm not really concerned about the opposing team. I'm more concerned about how the group is playing together.
All right, so that's like basically like a last call for alcohol there. So I got Raf's YouTube channel here. So this is
Nice,
this is Raf's channel. Uh,
nice.
as you can see here, he's trying stuff out, and everybody
Mhm.
I curse him out every time he comes on here that he needs to get busy. You know what I'm saying? We content creators, so bust out the content, my man.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
you
you
know
gotta
what,
bust out,
you know what I do a lot. I rewatch games. So
and you
rewatching
got a
games,
new subscriber. Just subscribed.
I rewatch games. So that's a whole different mindset than than talking trades and the whole shebang.
But that's the whole thing there. What are we doing if you're not doing that? This is the
Nah,
last
you're
laugh
right.
podcast.
It is fun though. I give it to you. You're right. It is fun talking trades. It's true.
It's just fun
Mhm.
talking in general, because I mean, people are not gonna watch if you ain't saying nothing. Right?
Right, and
Mhm.
you also gotta, you also another word of advice, and that's my channel. The live is over there. That's the channel. Please subscribe to our show, please. But I always tell people this: you can have a different opinion, but don't lie. Or have facts to what you say. I
Right.
always tell people you don't. This is just me personally. You don't have to respect the opinion if you don't like it, but you have to respect the person's right to have an opinion. You know what I mean?
Word
You
up.
don't
Word
have.
up. Yeah.
Right. You don't have to listen to the opinion if the opinion is nonsensical and ridiculous and wrong, but you have to respect the person's right to have a belief. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And then also too, like, that's why I don't really like to have too many people on here because I
Mhm.
want you to be able to spit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're
Mhm.
talking basketball, I'm gonna sit back and just let it go.
I'm
'Cause
going to hear.
I
You're going to
want
hear
to
me. Yeah.
hear your perspective. Because
Mhm.
everybody comes from a different place. So I want to
Yeah.
know where you coming from because you might say something and be like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes,
then
sir.
yeah, that's what's the beautiful thing about this whole thing here, man. So yeah, man, I
Mhm.
just want to big you guys both up. We got the Last Laugh podcast here. Definitely, I
Yep.
just subscribed. This is from my regular channel, so I got to subscribe on my diehard Knicks channel. And then
Thank you.
also too, Raf Diaz fucking around on the internet. One of these days he'll start doing things for real. He'll stop trying stuff. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Shout out to Jarrell. Jarrell always says, "Get your bars off." That's one thing that we always say. So
Hmm.
that's what it's all about, man. So G
Right.
Money, I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. You,
Thank
you
you,
got
Mighty.
you got any more last words on your thing before we get out of here?
One last words. One, thank you for inviting me, Diehard Hero. It was nice meeting you. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing content creator. Salute State, by the way. Nice seeing you again, Raf. You have an amazing show. You have an amazing. Same through you, Eric. Hero. You guys are awesome people. You guys are safe. You guys are amazing. You guys bring beautiful facts, context into what you say. Amazing people. Thank you, I am Gerald. Thank you, Almighty. Please subscribe to the new channel. Like I said, channel, and also just stay healthy, stay safe. Let's go, Knickerbockers! Right now, the last two games, their defense has been clamped up. They're locking up cats right now, and Randall has just been magnificent. Brunson's been huge. RJ's turned thing. RJ, I know he's been out, but he's starting to crank it on. Tiz has done his part. The role players are feasting, and let's go, Knicks, go New York, go New York, go.
That's what's up.
Bada
I
bing,
mean,
bada boop.
yeah. So
And
I
for
don't know. I
me,
don't know if Ralph could say that, but what you got? What you got, Ralph?
and for me, I'll say, don't forget to vote. You can vote for the All Star game. Vote for Julius Randle, vote for
Mhm,
Jalen Brunson to be the All Star,
mhm.
and support the Knicks.
Right, and to smash those likes for Raf and Era. Come on, it's just free. All you have to do is move and groove your finger on the subscribe button. You smash and you press subscribe and smash those likes, everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
What's that?
And support everybody. Support
Yeah.
everybody. Shout out to For the Love of the Game. Support them. Support whoever else is out there. Support everybody. See what they're talking about. Get different perspectives. Don't just turn into a fan again, like you're a fan of these ESPN guys and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Don't just turn into a fan just watching one person. Look at other perspectives. That's what this is all about. You know?
Right, and
And,
bring facts. Don't just talk to talk. Bring facts into what you say.
yeah, and keep it positive,
Hmm.
which I like too. So
Hmm.
anyway, thank you guys both for coming in, man. This is Eru, man. I'm out of here. Dianetics Podcast. Peace.
Peace.
Eru, I see you. Die hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard, homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves, and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team, man, he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer.